round another, round another, round another, round another, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history, yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it?
Hey, we're back. Welcome to our Hidden History Radio. Oh, man, we're starting again. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. All right, I'm sorry. I'm still sleepy. All right, you are now tuned into
Our Hidden History Radio Show.
Yo,
That's how we doing.
I'm sorry, man.
Pepper in the building again.
Pepper Black.
Nah, bro.
It's a long
for
night.
the show, it's Pepper Kiss, baby.
Pepper Kiss.
All right.
It's a terrible name.
Wow.
We're not calling them that ever.
Oh, man, the name keep changing every year, man.
Changes.
Every
Pepper
year.
salt, pepper, all those going on.
Man, confused.
It's upgrades, man.
No.
upgrades.
You downgrade that one. Terrible.
Salt and pepper?
Huh? Nah. Might be just salt next year.
Wow.
Damn, man.
All right, so we're back. We're going to continue where we left off. We are in chapter 26 this week, chapter 26.
Officer.
So let's just tune in. Let's just go into Wikipedia, Spanish Inquisition. Wikipedia, the Spanish Inquisition. We're going back to that. We're going to start at where it says, according to Don. We left last week with us being placed in ghettos. They were called Judaias. Those are the Jewish ghettos. Those are the ghettos they had us confined in.
Right.
And we read also how that was a psychological. They put us in those areas based upon psychological pressure. To destroy us and break our will, to force us to convert to Christianity. So many of our people who chose to not want to live in those decrepit conditions in those ghettos, they said, "Well, you gotta live in the ghetto with the rebellious ones, or you can convert to Christianity and come out here with the rest of the good white folks in the good neighborhoods."
And be called apologetics.
Right, be called apologetics. Right, be called apologetics. Conversos, familiars, inquisitors. So, according to Don, and we're going to end at districts, towns and districts. We'll end there. Go ahead.
According to Don Hasdi, Crescus, persecution against Jews began in earnest in Seville in 1391.
That year is very important. We've been emphasizing on that year for quite a while now. 1391. In 1391. Okay, go ahead.
On the first day of the lunar month, Tammuz.
June. Wow.
June.
Go ahead.
From there, the violence spread to Cordoba, and by the 17th day of the same lunar month, it had reached Toledo, called then by Jews after its Arabic name, Talatula.
Right. So we named the area Toledo, Spain. We named it. It says it's an Arabic name because remember the Israelites were Moors and we spoke Arabic and we named it. Basically, it became Toledo in Spanish, but it was Tolulia. That's the original name of Toledo. Go ahead.
In the region of Castile. From there, the violence has spread to Majorca. And by the first day of the lunar month, Elul, it had also reached the Jews of Barcelona in Catalonia, where the slain were estimated at 250. Indeed, many Jews who resided in the neighboring provinces of Loretta and Gironda and in the kingdom of Valencia had also been affected, as were also the Jews of Andalusia. While many died a martyr's death, others converted to save themselves.
See that? Many died a martyr's death, but many converted to save themselves from the persecution, the psychological pressure being put in ghettos, being locked up, being imprisoned, having your possessions confiscated from you. So many of us converted against our will. Okay, continue.
Encouraged by practicing of Ferran Martinez, Archdeacon of Egja, the general unrest affected nearly all the Jews in Spain, during which time an estimated 200,000 Jews changed their religion or else concealed their religion.
See that? So it says 200,000. Based upon this persecution, 200,000 Jews changed their religion or concealed it and became what you know as crypto Jews or marranos, which later on which means pig. Okay, they called us pigs, and that term marrano over time became moreno, meaning black. Okay, the term moreno derives from marrano. Okay, we got books on that also. We don't. I forgot that Busher brought too. I forgot about it. But it's called. I forgot what it's called. Well, I don't know what it was called, but I should have brought it. Go ahead.
Becoming known in Hebrew as anusim.
Anusim. Anusim means the forced ones. Anusim means they were the coerced or the forced. So the conversos are referred to as the forced ones. We call ourselves anusim. Go ahead.
Meaning those who are compelled to hide their religion.
Those who are forced to hide their religion or hide their true identity, their heritage. Go ahead.
Only a handful of the more principal persons of the Jewish community managed to escape, who had found refuge among the viceroys in the outlying towns and districts.
Right. So those who were well off among our people were able to escape because we had the money, the means to escape. But many of us did not have that luxury. So now,
sound like Maccabees.
And I believe those who are well off, those are the black Portuguese. Okay, those are the ones that managed to escape. They are well off. They were referred to as the black. A lot of them were the black Portuguese. A lot of them. Let's go to.
Sound like the Maccabees where they could have professed themselves to be a Jew.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yep.
We're gonna get there in a minute.
Hey, I'm sorry. Also, a lot of the conversos, because of their apostasy of trying to save themselves, they got good jobs and were exalted near the king. The king, they gave them elevated jobs and so forth and so on.
And married into the family too. Married into the families as well and all of that. All of that stuff. Go to forced baptism. Go to the next paragraph there. We're going to stop at Judaism.
Forced baptism was contrary to the law of the Catholic Church. And theoretically, anybody who had been forcibly baptized could legally return to Judaism.
Right, so if you are forcibly, under the Spanish crown, their laws, which are stupid as hell, if you are forced baptized, you can return back to Judaism because it was against your will. Go ahead, which is nonsense. Go ahead.
Legal definitions of the time theoretically acknowledge that a forced baptism was not a valid sacrament, but confined this to cases where it was literally administered by physical force. A person who had consented to baptism under threat of death or serious injury was still regarded as a voluntary convert.
You see that? That's madness. Mm-hmm. So if they baptize you by force, then you can return to Judaism. But if they baptize you based upon threatening your life with death or injury, which is torture, and you converted based upon that torture, it was legal. It was legal.
So, meaning, Deke, nowadays, all those people in Christianity, they could come back.
Right, they return. Right, under their law, you can return back to Judaism.
Right, because you was forced. When you was a child, what sin did you confess? You know.
Right, but that's reverse psychology. That's none of that is real. That's if you read from the top again. Watch.
Forced baptism was contrary to the law of the Catholic Church.
No, it wasn't because if it was, why would you have to torture them? If you're torturing them to become Christian converts, that's force. You understand? It's contradiction. It's madness. Read again.
Forced baptism was contrary to the law of the Catholic Church.
But they still did it. Go ahead.
And theoretically, anybody who had been forcibly baptized could legally return to Judaism.
But they wouldn't because they were afraid. They were afraid to return to it because people were being killed around them, locked up behind them, exiled around them, tortured around them. You had informants around. You couldn't trust anybody. You didn't know who to trust because you had familiars around you, inquisitors around you. So they weren't going to return to that regardless. It's all a trick to give you the idea. See, you can return to Judaism so they can catch you and then torture you. So that's all a trick. That's all a trick there. Go ahead.
Legal.
That's a setup. Go ahead.
Legal definitions of the time, theoretically, acknowledge that a forced baptism was not a valid sacrament, but confined this to cases where it was literally administered by physical force. A person who had consented to baptism a person
who agreed to be baptized, or converted, go ahead,
under threat of death or serious injury was still regarded as a voluntary convert.
Go ahead.
And accordingly, forbidden to revert to Judaism.
You hear the nonsense? So they put you. They set it up where they say you can, if you want to, you can have a case where you can return to Judaism. But then if you fight to return to Judaism, you've confessed that what? that you observe Judaism, which by that time was becoming what? Illegal. So that's the setup. Then they're saying that if you do, by some chance, convert based upon a threat or being beaten or so forth, and you say, okay, I'll convert, then you've legally lost your rights to return to your faith.
That's that framing mischief by law.
Yeah, let's get that. Let's get that. Then we can get. That Maccabee's coming up in a few seconds. Isaiah, the 10 and 1.
Which one? Frame mischief?
Yeah.
Psalm 94.
Okay, we got Isaiah 10 and 1 first.
Yeah, they say the same thing.
Yep. Then we'll get Psalms.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievous which they have prescribed.
Read it again.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous laws. That's what the Catholic Church is doing. This is the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is the mother of harlots. The harlots is the churches. That's what the harlots is. And the mother of those harlots, of course, is Babylon, but the church system itself, the mother of the church system, is the Catholic Church. Apologetics derive from the Spanish inquisitors. If you claim to be a modern-day apologetic, you are a modern-day Spanish inquisitor.
Right.
You are a familiar. You uphold the religion of murders. You guys are the forerunners of the transatlantic slave trade. That's what you uphold. That's why I don't understand you apologetics, man. Y'all don't need to come against us. It's in your best interest not to.
You better shut your white mouth.
Yo, turn that up, too.
Shut
Yeah,
your
make sure
white
that's-
mouth.
Yeah, play that again, man.
Yeah, make sure it's nice and loud.
Shut your white mouth.
You better shut your red mouth, man.
The
Read
way
it
he
again.
said, he said with conviction, too.
Yeah, he said,
Shut your white mouth.
mouth. Read again.
Ain't you stepping up there again, man? That's what I'm talking about.
Doing good. Come on.
Isaiah 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievous which they have prescribed.
In that right grievousness. Why is it grievousness? Because you're telling someone who's been born and raised in a religion, so that basically is your identity, to remove themselves from it. That's a grievous. You're saying you can no longer be a Jew anymore.
Yeah.
You're now a Spaniard. Now you're a Crestwell. You ask black people, what's your nationality? They say, I'm Christian. Where do they get that from? Christianity. Christianity was basically replaced your nationality. The Spanish crown, which is a Roman crown, remember I showed you earlier, a couple episodes ago, that the Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand were descendants of Romans. Legio Germana. That was a sect of Romans that conquered that area of land. But they had Romans because they had a different ideology of Christianity, contrary to the Roman Catholic doctrine. But it was still the same. Same tree, different branches. But these were Romans. King Ferdinand, Isabella, Pelayo, Alfonso. Who else was it?
We got Roderick.
Roderick.
And all of them.
These are all Romans. That's what they're referred to as Hispano-Romans.
Paleo.
Right. These were Hispano-Romans. Spanish Romans. Romans or Italians living in Spain. These are the same ones that conquered the Americas and colonized it.
So they just had different. They the same people, just had different views on religion.
Different
that's
ideologies. Right.
That's
That's
what
it.
separated.
That was the only separation. But they were the same race of people. The same race of people. Read on. Read again. One more time.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness with they have prescribed.
Which they have prescribed, meaning they've established it as law. They're forcing it upon the people. Next verse.
To turn aside the needy from judgment.
Right, because Christianity takes you from what? From the laws of God. Christianity is anti-law. You hear apologetics say, you guys are pushing legalism. Legalism means law. The Bible is called the book of the law. So when you sit there and say you're pushing legalism, What you're saying to me is you're pushing that Bible. Stop pushing the Bible. Just push your opinions, push your emotions.
Follow your heart.
Follow your dreams. That's basically what y'all want us to do. That's what y'all want us to do. Go ahead.
To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
They may rob the fatherless. Who was that? The children. They stole the children as well. We read that chapters ago, where they took the children from the parents and put them in plantations in St. Thomas Island, in Guinea, Cape Verde, and raised them as Christian children, Christian slave children, and baptized them. And when it says baptize them, it doesn't mean they just pour water on your head and you're converted, my son. No, baptism means they change your name, give you a Spanish name. That's what it means. It's not just you get baptized and that you dipped in some water and you go back to business. No, you go through a whole change. You got to change your clothes. You got to follow certain rituals. You got to shave your face, all that. You can't wash too much because the Romans they hated water. I'm gonna go into that later on. They hated water. I remember one time I had I went and bought me a Snapple one time. You know when you buy Snapples, they have the little fun facts on the top of the lid. Yeah. And it says that Queen Isabella washed her behind twice in her life.
Dang.
Twice. When she was younger and when she was an adult. She washed no more than twice in her life.
You can't live.
Man,
that can't be real.
She washed no more than twice in her life. They were opposed to water.
Close your mouth.
And when they conquered the Moors, they destroyed the baths. We had bath homes, bath houses. They destroyed them.
Why would they do that?
Bruh, what's the thing?
You heard earlier how their clothes, they wore the same clothes till the disintegrator offered them.
What's the purpose behind that?
They don't like water.
Why?
Because they eat them. They're vile. Go to where we at?
Cave people.
Cave, yeah. Read on. Jess, you say something?
Now, they still do that too, because I recently seen an article where they saying that if you do too much, they say you should bathe at least once a week now. This is from Esau and Elam. You should bathe once a week because if you bathe too much, it dries out your skin.
No, their skin. I remember it was a snip in Dave Chappelle. It was called Trading Spouses, and his name was, I forgot his name, and he got his wife got the white dude, and Dave Chappelle was a white dude, and then the white guy's wife got the black dude, and then he was like, yeah, you know, listen to that. He was like, he's like, yeah, yeah, you know, women, white women, man, you know, they don't use soap, they don't use a rag, they just got pubic hairs all over the over the bar of soap. And he was blasting the white woman because she don't use no rag. She just used the soap bar.
No, that's true.
Yeah, he said white people don't use wash rags. They just use the bar of soap.
I got in an argument with this Edomite in college. Damn. I said, yo, he used to come to, from the shower back to the dorm. Well, there's a bar. I said, bro, what's your rag? He said, I don't use rag. I said, bro, what the fuck? Oh, excuse my language. I said, bro, what's wrong with you? I said, get a rag. I said, that's why you smell like that every day. I'm tired of it. I said, yo, put a complaint for him.
Oh, you bought it with him?
Yo, the dude refused to use a rag. All the Edomite stores, none of them use
They don't use wash rags.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so Chappelle.
Jake used wash rags.
Get that scene. It's
because Jake always used wash rags.
We do. It's called trade. Or we use loofahs.
Yeah, or loofahs.
Remember, Susanna said she had wash balls. So it's loofahs. We had loofahs. We lather up. That's Jake washes our ass. We are keen on smelling good. Esau is like, I guess. Jake is like, no, we're gonna wash. Yeah, that's Dave Chappelle playing the white husband with the white wife.
Dave Chappelle.
So we want to fast forward to when the black guy has his wife.
Yeah, that's Leonard Washington.
Leonard Washington. And she said, you know somebody gonna tell me? He said, yes. Confidentially, I'm crazy and I will kill you. And she said, yo, I think it's hilarious, man. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. I'm not sure where it is, but he goes about the soap.
It's in here.
Sometimes they're good. It's all about the soap. They don't wash. That seems hilarious. Okay, they're doing commentary on their experience with their spouse. Right there. That's it right there. That's it right there. I gotta be it. See, the thing in his mouth, the cigarette.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that?
Man.
Bring it back just a little bit. All
Right there.
Yeah.
He said, I had brown sugar.
Yo, what's wrong with this guy?
And not oatmeal.
Yeah. Dude, the fella's an idiot, man.
Hit the play button. What's going on?
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, men on this show taught me that no matter where you come from, you know what I'm saying, or what color your skin is, we all pretty much do the same things in life. Raise our kids, make love from time to time.
Here we go.
And wash. Speaking of which, I learned that white people don't use washcloths. Did you know that? I'm serious. They had one bar of soap in the house. Every time I use it, somebody else's pubic hair was in it. So I use it. I put the raw bar of soap in your butt and all this. Maybe I need to wash my face or my feet.
That's it.
I can't wash my butt.
It said I can't wipe my butt in my face. Got pubic hairs in the soap. So I'm just showing you that's commonly known among our people that Esau is not much of a fan of water or rags. They just kind of just rub the soap on their skin and just kind of let the wind blow the dirt
Did we
off.
do something traumatically in the history that involved water? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Get to the psychology of things. Why are you afraid of water?
Because water represents cleanliness, and we all know Esau is far from that.
Damn.
The hell is this?
Forced baptism, read that. Where we stop at? We started at forced baptism, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
keep
we
going
had
where we at. Keep going to where we continue from where we left off.
After the public violence, many of the converted felt it safer to remain in their new religion. Thus, after 1391, a new social group appeared and were referred to as conversos,
The converted ones. That's those who converted. Go ahead.
or new
They
Christians.
became new Christians. The white folks are the old Christians. Go ahead.
Many conversos, now free from the anti-Semitic restrictions imposed on Jewish employment, attained important positions in 15th century
You
Spain,
got status. See, we got status.
including positions in the government.
Oh, we got jobs, government jobs. See, you in Christianity, you get government jobs. See, go ahead.
And in the church.
And in the church, go ahead. Became pastors. Your T.D.
Pastors.
Jakes, your Creflo Dollars, Juanita Bynums. That's who we became. Conversos. These guys are conversos. Go ahead.
Among many others, physicians Andres Lagunas and Francisco Lopez Villalobos, Ferdinand's court physician, writers Juan del Encina, Juan del Menina, Diego
These are Spanish names. These are Spanish names. Look, watch this. Keep going.
Diego de Valera, and Alonso de Palencia, and bankers Luis de Santaguel and Gabriel Sanchez, who financed the voyage of Christopher Columbus.
Boom. These are Jews that financed Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas. These are the sellouts.
Coons.
Coon niggas that funded Christopher Columbus's voyage to the Americas. How? Because the money that was obtained by them came from what? The confiscation of Jews that refused to convert. When their things were confiscated, the monies went to what? To pay who? Government officials. Who are the government officials? Our people. Our people and Edomites. And our people helped fund Christopher Columbus's voyage, and our people helped him find the Americas on the ship. The conversos were on Columbus's ship too. Luis de Torres is one of them. That's a Jew. I forgot his name. He said land. He discovered the land right first. Jake. Okay, go ahead. They were trying to escape the persecution of Spain. So they chose either be persecuted in Spain or take my black behind on the ship of Columbus and be safe in the Americas and be rewarded over there. But unfortunately for us, those of us who tried to escape with Columbus, they brought the Inquisition over here. I'm going to get into that later on. Go ahead.
We're all conversos. Conversos.
They were all conversos. These are Christopher Columbus's financiers, and also his comrades, his shipmates were conversos. Now, there's very few of us on the ship, mostly white people, mostly Esau's in the ship. But you had Ladinos
Yes, sir.
and conversos on the ship.
I think we also the instruments for like the map and all that stuff.
Right.
We the ones that drew all that stuff up.
We drew it out to get there. We knew where we were going. He brought Jews in the ship because we were instrumental in what? In communicating with the Native Americans to talk with them. That's why he said, bring the Jews in the ship, because where we're going, there's Jews over there too.
And Deacon, remember the one book I have going to the history of the Negroes, the Negro timeline, and it showed that Columbus brought Spanish Jews. But in the other book, in the Two Promised Lands, shows that he brought Jews.
The Negro Almanac says that.
Yes, the Negro Almanac.
The Negro Almanac.
So it says he brought Spanish black Jews, not black Jews, but he brought Spanish
Jews.
Negroes. In the other book, he's Two Promised Lands, he brought Jews.
Right.
So
it's one of the
Spanish
same.
Jews were one of the same.
Right. Or Portuguese Jews, the one and the same. Go ahead.
We're all conversos. Conversos, not without opposition, managed to attain high positions in the ecclesiastical hierarchy.
They became the church leaders, your pastors, your preachers. Go ahead.
At times, becoming severe detractors of Judaism.
At times, and these niggas became, they became what?
Severe detractors of Judaism.
They became severe detractors of Judaism. Traitors. That was yesterday's class. Detractors, severe detractors, like that bastard. What's the name? Oh man, Torquemada, that nigga. I'm sorry. That Negro, Torquemada, the Grand Inquisitor.
They called him the Grand.
They called him the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting upset. This thing about his name. I'm gonna find his grave and pee on it. That dude was a devil.
What?
Damn, the devil, man.
Listen, that's the next level. I'm not just gonna spit on it, or pee on it.
Dig it up and shoot the ashes. His body, if his ashes is in the grave, you shoot the ashes and pee on them, and then close it back and bury it again. Nah, man. Nah, it need to be done.
Nah, bring it out.
Nah, man.
Take a number 2 on it.
I'm not going that far. Whoa, I'm not going that far.
I'm just saying.
Hey, don't load up for that one. Don't load up for that one.
I'm not put my pants down, take a dump in the casket. That's a bit much.
I just wanted to bask in the ambiance.
Oh, wow, man.
Leave it to Levi.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Oh, man.
What the heck is going on? What
Thank
just
you.
happened?
Yo, it went left.
Thank you, Pepper Black. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, that was something going on.
Nah, I
The
just
brotherly love continues.
white
Somebody
man.
got to bring it back in.
Give me that website. It's been the torture, Spanish Inquisition. It's called M Ranker website. I'm gonna give y'all some details of the torture we endured under this persecution under the Spanish crown. Yup, is that it right there?
Nah, it's not. That's that other.
Nah, not that one. I don't want that yet. We'll go to that later on. It's called M Ranker Spanish, M Ranker, something like that. Yup, that's it. Let's blow that up. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, y'all going in. Okay. Close that out.
And I think it was this morning. I think it's probably from another Israelite. I saw they posted a big white dude with a shirt that read, "It's okay to be white. Only 1% of whites had slaves, but the Jews, which is a Jewish, own all the slave ships."
Damn.
There's a white dude that had that shirt.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Now, the Jews, in fact, did fund Columbus's voyage. You had Jews as in our people, and you also had the converted Edomites as well that were behind the financing of the slave ships. All right, remember, I'll get into the details of how we were converting the Edomites, and our people were telling them not to do it. Can you read that? That's kind of, them words is mad small.
I'm gonna pull it up on.
So this is 10 horrifyingly cruel torture. What? Blow it up. Just bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. 10 horrifyingly cruel torture methods used during the Spanish Inquisition.
All right, I have it here, D.
Now, one of the main ones you're gonna see is called Judas's Cradle. I think that's one of the worst. That was on a show called Blacklist the other day. It was called a torture device called Judas's Cradle. I said, it's familiar. I said, oh, that is it. A lot of torture devices that we know of that Esau uses today in the military when they come across the enemies, want information out of them. A lot of those torture devices they got from Spain. Esau had a lot of time to sit down in them caves and think of ways to kill us and torture us. They had a lot of time. So let's read number 1. The Judas cradle.
All right. The Judas cradle would literally rip you a new butthole.
Damn.
Let's go. Judas's cradle.
Oh yeah, that's the torture museum.
That's it right there. Yeah, torture museum.
Yep.
That's it.
They don't make you sit on that.
Yep, and pull you down.
Yep.
Go down. Read.
Damn.
The Judas cradle was a profoundly gruesome device. A naked victim was forced to sit on top of sharp-pointed pyramid seat. The pointy end penetrated the anus, vagina, or scrotum of the victim.
Damn.
Oh, it gets worse. The inquisitors would then pull ropes attached to the victim's limbs to slowly force the point deeper into the person's orifice.
Hole.
Orifice.
So the orifice is their hole. Vagina, behind, whatever. Go ahead.
If this was kept up for several hours, the victim would end up impaled by the device.
And
They would die.
That's not talking about the white people. They're talking about you black
That's
women.
us. That's you black women's vaginas
that
and the
was
black
so-
man's behind.
Right. That was
Impale
to
you
sit
all the
with
way
the
through.
enemy. Yep.
They would impale you all the way through. Go ahead.
They owned the process of waterboarding down to a science.
So waterboarding came from them too. Yeah. Waterboarding is putting a rag over your face and pouring water in your face and drowning you like you're drowning. They do that now in the military. In the military, they catch your enemy, they take them and they waterboard them. That's us too. To make you do what? Convert to Christianity. Or you're in Judaism, they put a pyramid in your behind. Or you're in Judaism, they will drown you to death. Or drown you to a point of near death. Read that?
Spanish inquisitors called waterboarding tormente de toca. The toca referred to the piece of cloth that covered the victim's face.
Torment of the cloth. They pour water in it in your face. Go ahead.
The victim would be tied down on an inclined board and water would be poured over the cloth. This would make the suspected heretic feel as though they were drowning. The patient strangled and gasped and suffocated, and at intervals, the toca was withdrawn and he was adjured to tell the truth. The severity of the infliction was measured by the number of jars of water consumed, sometimes reaching to 6 or 8. Henry Charles Lea wrote in A History of the Inquisition of Spain. For the Spanish, waterboarding was basically dubbed, "Oh, not so bad." Historian Ed Peters told NPR that waterboarding was considered as commonplace as a modern cross-examination and that inquisitors were professionals at this method.
That inquisitors were professionals at this method. That includes our own people, evil, wicked Negroes, and Edomites. Conversos. Go ahead.
The Spanish donkey would not be a fun ride.
The Spanish, see them some spikes on top of that? The Spanish donkey. Go ahead.
This headless, gut-wrenching donkey was the worst ride in town. Deceptively innocent in appearance, the device was used throughout the Inquisition as a means of torture. Victims would be forced to sit on a wooden wedge, sometimes covered in spikes, with their feet left dangling on either side of the saddle. Sometimes weights would be added to the victim's feet, causing open wounds, blood loss, and after a long period of time, death.
Read that. They would what?
They would leave you hanging with the strapado.
Strapado.
The strapado was a very popular torture method during the Inquisition, primarily because it was so easy to do. It involved tying a person's hands behind his or her back and suspending the person full weight by the wrist using a pulley system. Oftentimes, weights were added to the victim's feet to increase the level of pain and to guarantee dislocation of the extremities.
Go back up the picture. See that right there? So they would hang you, pull you up while your wrists basically stretch you apart. Stretch your body apart. That's what they were doing. Go down. The water cure.
The water cure would make you violently
ill.
Everybody says that drinking lots of water is good for you. Well, remember that there can always be too much of a good thing. Drinking copious amounts of water in a short period of time can lead to a condition known as hypoatremia or water intoxication. It causes a drastic drop in sodium levels in the blood, causing your cells to swell and leading to inflammation of the brain. Wow, man.
So an effect of drowning. Also.
Right.
Yep.
The water cure was first documented during the Spanish Inquisition. Victims of the water cure were strapped down and had water funneled into their mouths, up to 30 pints in one sitting. The water cure was different from waterboarding in that the victim was actually imbibing all that water instead of having it poured over the face.
Get the picture, please. Go to the picture. There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Go down.
You'll need more than a few Advil after the head crusher.
Head crusher. There you go. Head crusher right there.
The name of this torture device says it all. The victim's head was placed in a vise. The top cap portion went over the victim's skull while the victim's chin was positioned on top of a metal bar. To begin the torture, the inquisitor would tighten a screw at the top of the device, slowly crushing the victim's skull. As the skull was compressed, the victim's teeth were shattered. Oh, man. In extreme cases,
You're gonna open your mouth.
the eyeballs would pop out of the skull, causing certain death.
Go back to the picture again.
And that's your white Christian.
That's your apologetics. That's what you guys is upholding.
Yep.
That's you.
That's
They were
Christianity.
cranked it. Like that. What's that thing called when you put it and you tighten it? It's like when you work power tools. When you twist it, it does this. The whole thing still.
Right.
What that's called?
A screw clamp, I think. It's called a screw clamp.
Right. And you put it. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
That sounds like that happened in the movie, was it Saw?
Yeah,
Or
Saw.
something like that?
Saw,
Yeah,
yeah.
same thing. It's Saw. Yeah.
That's used a lot in carpentry.
Yeah. That's the idea came from this. Go down.
Where's the love? I tell God,
That's
love.
wicked as hell, man.
Where's the love?
The knee splitter crippled you.
The knee splitter crippled you.
Get the image, please. Okay. It's like a nutcracker.
Damn.
The knee.
These guys
Look
are the
at that
worst,
contraption there. The knee splitter.
These guys are the worst.
The knee splitter was a terrifying device that resembled the gaping jaws of a razor-toothed creature.
Okay.
It worked as a vice, pinning the victim's leg in between the spikes of the device as it was compressed down onto the knee. Although it was rare that this device resulted in death, it would render a victim's leg useless. The device could also be used on other parts of the body, but legs were the preferred appendage.
So put your knees in there and lower that down to your knee. Knees are destroyed. Crippled for life. Go down. The Spanish tickler doesn't tickle at all. It rips your flesh off.
So what we're reading here is really legalism versus terrorism.
Pretty much. This is Christianity's way of saying you convert to this, or this is a reward we give you.
So you ask Israel, which one would you prefer?
Yeah.
Legalism or this?
Right.
Contrary to other types of ticklers, the Spanish tickler provided nothing but pain for its victims. The device was also called a cat's paw due to its shape and the fact that it ended in 4 or 5 curved metal claws. Sometimes the tickler would be at the end of a long pole to better reach the body of a victim suspended in the air or tied to a vertical rack. The claws would tear through a victim's flesh and could even break bones. The inquisitors would begin tickling on the limbs, eventually moving to the torso to increase the level of pain.
All right. Here you go. Burning at the stake. Burning at the stake. Ain't that the Romans did to us? Yes, they did. Go down. That's so-called a witch hunt.
And look in that picture, the priest with the cross.
Yep. Look at the priest there.
Right there.
And Native Americans went through the same thing. They burn them at the stake too, in the Americas. Well, it was then King Atahualpa.
Right.
King Atahualpa went through the same thing. Go ahead.
Burning at the stake. This one is a 2-for-1. As it was a method of both torture and execution for victims of the Spanish Inquisition. The inquisitors regularly burned people at the stake. Just 1 decade after the Inquisition began, historian Hernando del Pulgar estimated that 2,000 people had been burned at the stake. The Inquisition and burnings continued for another 700 years.
Wow.
You do the math. It wasn't until 1834 that a royal decree was signed, formally abolishing the Inquisition and ending this horrific act.
Wow. The rack would. Go ahead.
The rack would break your back.
The rack would break your back. What's this? Look at the picture there. Look at the picture. Pay attention to that. Go ahead.
The rack, also called the patrol or escalera, It's one of the most widely known torture methods used during the Spanish Inquisition. The victim was tied down to a plank of wood while a crank was turned, pulling all 4 limbs simultaneously away from the body. After a few hours of increased tension, the victim's nerves and muscles were torn apart, likely rendering him or her crippled for life.
Arms and legs broken.
You saw that in Braveheart.
Braveheart, yes.
Remember the end of the scene?
Braveheart, yes.
And the Levi's, the Levi logo for the jean, where they have the 2 horse.
Yeah, oh yeah. Right, tied up the limbs to each horse and make all those run different directions.
Right.
Same thing.
And they was using these same methods on us when they brought us over in slavery, using these same methods in the
Yep,
West
same
Indies
thing.
and so
Yep,
forth.
Same
That's
exact
in that
thing.
book too, Willie Lynch.
Yep. Is that it?
These guys are
That's it, Deacon.
That's it. That's enough.
ruthless.
Go to Botanica, Marranos.
Just want to keep the laws.
Right.
Just want to live civil amongst each other. We're going to kill you. We're going to torture you. Just for that.
Just for that, yeah.
Because you can't force us. You can't beat us. You can't match us scripturally. You can't convert us without using force. So you have to use torture.
Yeah, scare tactics.
So what is it behind our belief system that causes a man or woman to go to such lengths to torture a race of people, to deny their God? If our people don't see that and don't wake up to this truth,
And as for us, Cap, we don't even gotta go to that extent. All we gotta do is just preach the word.
Yeah,
That's that torture to them.
Get Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11, verse 36. No, verse 35. No, damn, no. Get 36 and down.
the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 36. And others have trial of cruel mockings and scourgings. Yeah, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned. They were sawn asunder.
Cut in half.
Ooh, I got a picture.
These are the prophets. You got a picture of that?
I got a picture, yeah.
Sawn asunder. We were cut in half. Send it over to them.
They were stoned. They were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented.
Destitute, afflicted, and tormented. These are the, do you know what these are? These are the curses of God in Deuteronomy 28. The curses did not, you stupid ass apologetics. The curses did not happen one time. They happened generational. There wasn't just, oh, they went into Egypt in ships and that was the last time they went into ships. You guys are retarded. When you go into the Spanish Inquisition, the Israelites were taken in ships into, to the Americas, brought to Spain in ships, to the Americas, shipped over to different, they were shipped over to islands to work on plantations. Enslaved ships. Not just Egypt, dummies. One curse happened one time. You can't be that stupid. You can't be. And once you acknowledge that, and once you acknowledge it happened more than one time, you can't deny the slave ships. You can't deny it. See, I try to be thinking, so no, it says Egypt. They shall return to Egypt again. That's literally Egypt. That's true. But you acknowledge they weren't in ships, though. Right? You acknowledge they weren't in ships, though. So they weren't in ships to Egypt. For what? What was in Egypt? Plantations were in Egypt. Slave mines, salt mines were in Egypt. Those were slave areas. Well, they went to Egypt. What did they go to Egypt and go on vacation? No, they were brought there as prisoners and served their slavery in Egypt. Which is, at the time was a Roman province. But guess what happened? Rome, eventually, the Romans, a set of them, took over Spain, King Ferdinand and Isabella, Hispano-Romans, and they shipped us over as well. They did the exact same thing and shipped us over to what? Cape Verde, St. Thomas, Guinea, had us do the exact same thing. They shipped us over there. St. Thomas is an island. So obviously you need a ship to get there. You can't walk through the water. The white man is not Moses. He didn't the Spanish didn't part the sea and walk us through there. We got put in the ship as slaves, us and our children, and were brought over to St. Thomas and other islands neighboring West Africa, and were forced and were made slaves there. So the curses proceeded after being brought to Egypt. It wasn't just, oh, that's just that one time. Once you acknowledge the curses happened more than once, you're finished. You done. Read again.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 37. They were stoned. They were sawn asunder.
Hold that. Get that picture, get the image up there. Sawn asunder. This is craziness.
That's crazy.
Hanging upside down, and they're cutting him from the groin down.
This is insane.
Who's that supposed to represent?
What the hell is this?
That's just a torture picture.
Yeah, that's
Inquisition.
That's Inquisition?
Yeah.
Why would you?
That's the Spanish Inquisition also. This is an image of the Spanish Inquisition also.
People go to such.
So that's supposed to be a Jew right there.
Right.
Made him white, but that's supposed to be a Jew. And he's being so the guy has his one hand on one side and the hand on the other. They're both going back and forth.
Yeah, tie it down.
Right, tie him down.
You see how he got the beard?
Right, has a beard and all that, and they're cutting him in half.
Those were the kind of saws used for huge, enormous-sized trees. Where
Right.
You would have two people on one side and sawing
Right,
back and
right.
forth.
So using it for a person. So this is so guess what? It says here in Hebrews, they were stoned. They were sawn asunder. Meaning what? This happened in the past. So I'm showing you in Spain, they did it again. The curses happened more than one time in different eras. To the same exact people. You simple, asinine apologetics. Yeah, Jazz.
I'm sorry, D. With that, can we get Ezekiel 23
Yeah, hold on. Go Hebrews 11.
to show the torture that kept happening to us over and over? Ezekiel 2, I think it started at Ezekiel 23. I remember you brought this out a while back.
Ezekiel chapter, you said verse 23?
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel 23, verse 23. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekad and Shoah and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them, all them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield, and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments.
Why? Because we refuse our God's judgments. So now we got to follow the white man's judgments. I will have them judge you according to their judgments. We refuse that. We refuse our God's judgment. God said, okay, you don't want my judgments? Okay, you're going to serve their judgments now. Go ahead.
And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee.
Why? Because God was jealous of us. Because he chose the nations over him. He said, I'm going to have them do to you. I'm going to have them do terrible things to you now. Because you're disrespecting me. Read again.
And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee.
They shall deal furiously with you. Terribly to you. We just read the fury earlier. We just read the furiousness earlier. Go ahead.
They shall take away thy nose and thy ears.
They will take your limbs off. They will take your nose. They will take your ears.
King Leopold. That sounds like
King
him.
Leopold, take your hands, take your legs, take your fingers. Native Americans,
Scalp your
the
head.
Congolese. Read on.
And thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters.
Boom. They shall take your sons and your daughters. For what?
28.
Slaves. Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
And it says the Babylonians and it says the Assyrians will do it. So you had the Assyrians took away our sons and daughters. The Babylonians took away our sons and daughters. The Persians took away our sons and daughters. The Greeks took away our sons and daughters. The Romans took away our sons and daughters. The Spanish took away our sons and daughters. The Portuguese took away our sons and daughters.
Right.
The Arabs took away our sons and daughters. The curses happened over and over and over again. No, they happened one time to Egypt. You apologetics are a bunch of retards.
You better shut your white mouth.
Shut your white mouth.
Bring it out.
Go ahead.
And they shall judge.
25 again.
Read it from the top.
25 from the top, yeah.
And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thy heirs, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire.
Shall be devoured by the fire, burnt at the stake.
Burn at the stake.
Burn at the stake. Burn your homes, burn your walls, burn you. King Nero had us lit on fire around the Colosseum. This is before the Spanish Inquisition. That's why those of you who are familiar with New York, we have a thing called Yankee Stadium on 161st Street or 116th Street. Whatever. It's in the Bronx. It's a giant stadium, Yankee Stadium. And it looks exactly like a Coliseum. It has big lights that go around in a circle. And those lights represent burning bodies. Burning bodies. That's what the lights are for.
Wow.
To light the arena, which represent our bodies.
Damn.
It wasn't just, the curses were just a one-time thing. If you believe the curses happened one time, then you're not a scholar. You don't know anything. You don't do your research. Don't come against us with stupid stuff. We will thoroughly embarrass you. Thoroughly.
In deep verse 26.
Yeah, read on. Watch this. Read on.
Verse 26.
You can't beat this. Watch this.
They shall also strip thee out of thy clothes, and take away thy fair jewels.
Were we not stripped butt naked over here?
Yes, we were.
Were Native Americans not stripped butt naked over here? Right. They stripped us down to nothing. You see it in Django. You seen it in 12 Years a Slave. You seen it in what's the name? Roots. You all the slave movies you could think of. Goodbye Uncle Tom. Stripped down naked. Take away your clothes. The Babylonians did it. He's referring to the Babylonians. He says, they shall, is the Babylonians, the Chaldeans, the Pekad, Shoah, Koa, Assyrians with them. The Greeks did it too. All nations did it to us. Stripped us naked, took away our jewels. We had diamonds and gold in our jewels, all of that. Gold sewn in our clothes, diamonds, all of that. They said, take that off. That belongs to us now.
So now they're able to draw pictures of us just being naked and call us savages.
Right,
but
exactly.
They don't tell you what happened before that.
Mm-hmm. Did the same thing to Christ when they cast his lots.
Right.
Lots for his garments. Stripped them naked, hung them, pretty much a modern day lynching, and what? Crucified him. They cast lots for his garments. That's what they did. Because why?
Exactly. Because his garment was valuable. Yeah. It was wealth. His garment was valuable. The Messiah didn't walk around. The Messiah didn't walk around in a stupid ass toga. No. He wore a beautiful garment with fringes on it.
He was fresh.
He was fresh.
Yeah, he came from Nazareth. He knew how to dress.
Right.
He was fresh to death.
They say he
knew how to dress.
The jacket had no seams or something in it.
He had a job too. He had a job to take care of it, to pay for it. He's a carpenter.
Secret bars.
Read on down. Read down to verse 29.
Bars.
Where we at?
Do you acknowledge it, Deacon?
Verse 27.
I didn't hear nothing you said. I didn't hear nothing about all I heard was bars. I didn't even hear the rhyme. Thank God, because I know it was something stupid. 27.
And Deacon, you showed earlier, was reading earlier, 1835 during the Spanish Inquisition, where they stopped the burning of the cross.
Yes.
They're
at the stake.
At the stake. Their capital punishment.
Right.
They didn't really stop. Just like slavery by another name.
Right.
They just created a new intellectual system that's called it something else.
Right.
The newer generation just took the torch and it's altered it slightly.
Right.
Now instead of burning at the stake or with the cross or nailing or crucifixion, now we have modern day terminology is lynching.
Right.
They did the same thing. They lynched us and they burned us as they lynched us.
Right. Exactly. Read that.
Verse 27. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from thee from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thy eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt any more.
Go ahead.
For thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest.
Whom thou hatest. And we hate the nations because they were despicable. They were vile. The Most High said, I'm gonna put you into their hands. You hate them so much, but you want to be them, so you can have them. Go ahead.
I love them.
You love them, right? Go ahead.
And to the hand of them whom thy mind is alienated.
Our mind was alienated. Want to be what? Like the nations. We want to be like everybody else, but ourselves. So our mind towards our God became alienated, meaning estranged, different than the Lord's. Well, Moses said, "Who the hell are you? You aren't my people. I didn't bring you out of Egypt. Who the hell are you?" Our mind became alienated from the Lord. We separate ourselves from Him. Go ahead.
And they shall deal with thee hatefully.
They shall what?
And they shall deal with thee hatefully.
They shall deal with you hatefully, furiously.
That's yes.
We're reading it now.
That's
I'm
them.
showing you what it says.
Wow.
They shall deal with you hatefully, cut you in half from your balls down, from your vagina down. Put you on a pyramid and build you a new butthole, a new vagina hole.
Oh God. Deke, can we take this segment real quick to meditate on terror? Can we have like a 5-minute period after this to just meditate on
Just
terror
meditate.
scriptures?
Meditate after,
Yeah, we need that therapy.
Lock
after
and
this.
load.
Yeah, lock and load.
Yeah.
After we finish the scriptures.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, brothers,
Payback
get
scriptures.
your scriptures ready, man. This is
Yes,
therapy
sir.
time. Get the therapy music. we need Black Jesus therapy.
Right. The 29 again?
29. And they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare.
Look at that. Take away what's your labor? Your land. Your labor could be your children, your wife, your home, and leave you bare and naked. Go ahead.
And the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms.
You'll be exposed for being full of sin and wicked. That's what happened to you.
Damn.
I'm going to expose your evil to the world. You who are known as the only nation on the earth that had a God, now you're a bunch of naked niggas on an auction block. With no kids. Your kids are being taken from you. Your clothes stripped from you. Because you refuse to follow me, serve me. Now you can serve them now. Go back to Hebrews 11 again. Go back to Hebrews 11.
And Dick, when you read Ezekiel 16, it explains to you how we used to dress. That's why they stole our clothes from us.
Right. It emphasizes, right, badger skin, silk, all of that.
Yep.
We read verse 37 again, 11:37.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 37. They were stoned. They were sawn asunder. Were tempted.
Sawn asunder.
Sawn asunder. Were tempted. Were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented,
Go ahead.
of whom the world was not worthy. They wander in deserts and in mountains and in dens in the caves of earth.
Right, on the run. Go ahead.
And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. God having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect.
Right. So he's going into basically our forefathers didn't live to see the promises promised us, but they will later on. We're the generation that's gonna Lord's will live to see the promises fulfilled. Our forefathers, they got put to death and went through all that stuff and they died. But their children live on. And they're going to receive those promises of inheritance the Lord promised us. But I'm showing you here that we underwent the same exact tortures and murders and atrocities and so forth. And it happened generationally. It wasn't just one time. That's a very, very ignorant statement to make. Oh, yeah, Deuteronomy 28:68, you guys can't use that. It says you should go into Egypt again. They went to Egypt. And understand, when Moses said that, he was referring to Israel as a whole, you idiots. All 12 tribes didn't go into Egypt again with ships, idiots. That was a sect of Jews that were taken from Judea and brought to Egypt, literally. Moses was talking to all of Israel, not some, all the nation, all of them, idiots, all of them. You shall all go into Egypt again with ships, all of you. Not 3 tribes, 2, 4, 2, 1, 6. Y'all are stupid as hell. Why y'all keep challenge us? Why?
Stupid.
Don't step up to us to the street.
Don't.
We're gonna make you a spectacle to the world, and we're gonna put your face on a thumbnail.
Yep. Get on Britannica now, Britannica.
Hey, Deke.
Yeah.
I got something. Matthew 23, verse 29.
Okay.
Just add to your fury. So we can have our special therapy session. The book of Matthew chapter 23, verse 29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets, and wise men, and scribes. And some of them ye shall kill, and crucify. And some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city.
Right.
That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias.
They killed Zechariah the prophet. They killed him. Go ahead.
Whom he slew between the temple and the altar.
This is our own people here. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
This generation.
Damn.
Go ahead.
O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee. How often have I gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chicken under her wings, and you would not. Behold, your house is left. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate.
Right. So, you elaborate on that?
Oh no, I was just adding fuel to the fire.
Oh, you thought to add on to it. But this is going to our people here. But if you want to deal with the heathen, you go to Revelation. The blood is the blood of the prophets, I believe.
Mm-hmm. This sound like Turkamada in them right here.
Yeah, that's the ones that got the high status and stuff in government jobs. That's them.
Okay. Revelation chapter 11, I believe, and 12. 12. Somebody talk.
Revelation, hold on 17 and 6.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 6.
No, 16:6.
16, verse 6. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy.
Hold on. So they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets. Go to 17 and 6.
And I saw the women drunken with the blood of the saints.
That's Babylon. Go ahead.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus.
That's Spanish Inquisition. Same thing as Spanish Inquisition. Go ahead.
And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Good. 1824.
And in her was found the blood of prophets.
The her is Babylon. Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
And of saints. And of all that were slain upon the earth.
19:2 now. What's the end result?
Revelation 19, verse 2. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore.
Great whore is Babylon again. Go ahead.
Which did corrupt the earth with her fornication.
The fornication. She corrupted the earth. Go ahead.
And have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand.
And God will avenge us against her. Okay? For avenge our blood in her hand. All right? Give me Britannica now. Britannica, marranos. Or the Britannica, I want marranos.
Marrano, in Spanish history, a Jew who converted to the Christian faith to escape persecution, but who continued to practice Judaism secretly.
Crypto Jews. They're called crypto, meaning false Christians or fake Jews. Go ahead.
It was a term of abuse and also applies to any descendants of Marranos.
So it's a term that derives from a descendant of Marranos. That's just very, very odd because remember I said earlier that the word Marrano became what? Moreno. And Moreno means what? It means black. Black people. You call someone a Moreno, it means black. So when you're a Marrano, you are a descendant. So Morenos are descendants of Marranos.
Right.
Morenos are descendants of Marranos. Marranos were Spanish Jews pretending to be Christians but were not. They were secret Judaizers. Secret Judaizers. All right, read on. We're going to stop at of the land. End of the land. Go ahead.
It was a term of abuse and also applies to any descendants of Marranos.
It was a term of abuse and also applies to any descendant of them. It was a derogatory term. So moreno, now even in Spanish, like people who speak Spanish, if you say moreno, it means black. But if you say it in an angry tone, it means nigga. If you go moreno, in that tone, it means nigga. Or sucio, things like that. Sucio, negro, all that stuff. Cocoro, all those terms, that's Spanish. That dumb niggas use in Spanish. You Spanish-speaking niggas, you use that. Yeah. That's all. That's mixed. I'm sorry, culturally confused. I'm light-skinned. Mi no negro, mi no negro. No, nunca, nunca, mi no negro.
What the hell is this?
Jesucristo es blanco. Y'all mixed up Negroes. Y'all confused. Y'all call your own people that. Moreno. Y'all don't say it in the, like, oh, he's black. You say it in the nigga. Moreno. Sucio. Pelo malo. Bad hair. Pelo malo. All right. We say, what we say? You black too. Yeah, but you black like this. You black like this. That's what y'all say. Nigga, you black too. Yeah, but you black like
Nunca.
Nunca.
Oh, man.
That's what y'all do. But y'all niggas too. I gotta say it that way because those of you who are watching think we up here just Christian. Oh, Jesus is love and God. No. We very, very real up here. Very real up here. I'm very blunt when I get angry. Very severe up here. And I come out of character. Now read these things. So the term moreno comes from the term marrano. Marrano means swine or fake Christian. That's what it really means. All right? Go ahead. We know we're going to stop there. I said stop at of the land. Those of you who have children watching, my apologies. However, when you read Acts 13, the word nigger is biblical. I'm just going to be flat out with you. Acts 13:1, you're the disciple named Simeon, nigger. Okay? Not Niger. It's pronounced properly nigger. The Nigger River, not Niger, not Niger, not Niger. It's nigger. That's how it's pronounced.
Right. Want to say it all nice and
Nigger,
smooth.
whatever. It's nigger. That's how it's pronounced. Go ahead.
The origin of the word Marrano is uncertain. In the late 14th century, Spanish Jewry was threatened with extinction at the hands of mobs of fanatical Christians.
We were threatened with extinction at the hands of mobs of fanatical white people. Threatened with extinction. Read it again, please?
In the late 14th century, Spanish Jewry.
Late 14th century is 1391. That's the same time. Late 14th century is 1300s. Late 1300s. Go ahead. When the hate reached its peak. Go ahead.
Spanish Jewry was threatened with extinction at the hands of mobs of fanatical Christians.
Go ahead.
Thousands of Jews accepted death.
Thousands of Jews who accepted death mean what? We became martyrs. We just read that in Revelation. We read that in Revelation numerous times. Martyrs. We accepted to the hell with Christianity. Hell with white Jesus. We're going to accept the black Messiah to hell with you. Just tell me then.
That's right.
We accepted death. Go ahead.
But tens of thousands found safety by ostensibly converting to Christianity.
But tens of thousands couldn't go through with it. I don't want to die. I got my kids, my wife. I'm not ready to die yet. So they either genuinely converted to Christianity or falsely converted to Christianity. These guys, Marranos, falsely did it. Go ahead.
The number of converts is moderately estimated at more than 100,000. By the mid-15th century,
1400s, mid-1500s, go ahead.
The persons who had been baptized but continued to practice Judaism in secret, Marranos, formed a compact society.
We formed our own cliques. You couldn't trust everybody. And what did Esau? When Esau discovered these compact societies, what do? They hired sellout niggas, familiars, inquisitors to come in and infiltrate these organizations and overthrow them. Like COINTELPRO, like Fred Hampton, Judas and the Black Messiah. That's what they did. Malcolm X. Nat Turner. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture, what's his name? Those examples of traitors, of course. Who was his name? Not Nat Turner. Gabriel Praza. Okay? Marcus Garvey. They black people, they had black folks infiltrate on the Operation Black Desk, I believe, infiltrate him and sabotage his ships. Negroes sabotage his ships that he had bought and built.
Was it what W.E. Du Bois?
W.E. Du Bois was a coon.
Cool, yep.
I heard he was Esau, but he's a coon. The talented 10th, him. He was against what's his name? Washington. What's his name? Something Washington.
Booker T.
Booker T. Washington. Yes, he was his rival. Go ahead. Where we at? What you doing?
No, not yet, bro. He's still going.
Yeah, we're still going. Come on.
What's going on?
Go ahead.
The marranos began to grow rich and to rise to high positions in the state.
So our brothers, they gained status. They gained status while maintaining proper, true Messianic or Judaism. True Judaism. Go ahead. So they gained status. So guess what? When they gained that status, what did they do? They did what Esther did. Looked out for their people. They did what Nehemiah did. What Zerubbabel did.
And they was so heavy about this.
Esther, yes.
Just yesterday, the bishop class, when you brought that, they call Mark Reiser amongst the NFLs.
Yes.
With the people.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But they know about that could happen again. So now they're trying to stop it before it's happening.
Exactly. Trying to stop that. Exactly. Those of us who have status. Go ahead.
The marranos began to grow rich and to rise to high positions in the state. The royal court and the church hierarchy, they intermarried with the noblest families of the land. The hatred directed against them by the old Christians, ostensibly because they were suspected of being untrue to their converted faith.
So these guys, they gained status keeping Judaism, but they did, however, intermingle with the white families at the time. They were even though they were true to their biblical zeal, they still had one foot in the world, one foot in the truth. They were playing around. So eventually, that caught up to them, and the white man realized these guys is fake and phony. They don't believe in Christianity, and caught on to them. Go ahead.
Ostensibly because they were suspected of being untrue to their converted faith, was in fact directed indiscriminately against all conversos or Jewish converts.
Right. Go ahead.
In March 1473, riots against Marranos broke out in Cordoba, with pillage and carnage lasting for 3 days.
Now, here's something heavy. I'm going to hit you with something heavy. Remember, these guys, these Marranos gained status, right? Wealth, they were well off, right? When you exempt, it says it says in March 1473, riots against Marranos broke out in Cordoba regarding who? The Marranos, who gained what? Status. Remember Black Wall Street? Mm-hmm. Black people gained status, they went crazy, burned the city down. Rosewood. White folks saw black folks had their own town. In the movie Rosewood, the white man said, "Look at this nigger. He got a piano in his house. I ain't got a piano." And he freaking burned the damn house down.
Just for a piano.
For a damn piano.
Bruh.
So I'm showing you that these white people, the Edomites, had a perpetual, we're going to get that in a few seconds, had a perpetual hatred for our people, especially when we had gained status in successful positions in wealth. Esau could not stand it. And they suspected that these guys were not true to their faith. But guess what? Regardless of that, they hated us regardless. Suspicion or not, they hated us anyway. Go ahead.
The massacres spread from city to city, carried out by fanatical mobs. In 1480, the Inquisition was introduced to provide institutional control over the persecution of the Marranos.
So in 1480, the Inquisition was introduced to provide what? Go down. To provide institutional control. Institutional control over the persecution of the Marranos. So the Inquisition was targeting Israelites who were keeping the laws of God.
That's right. right.
The Spanish Inquisition was targeting Jews. We were the main target. It wasn't just, because of religion. It was about hatred for Israelites that were keeping the laws of God. That's the main premise of the Inquisition. Go ahead.
In the Inquisition's first year, more than 300 marranos were
Were burned.
burned. Their estates reverting to the crown.
They're what? Whoa. They're what?
Their estates reverting to the crown.
Their estates, their wealth went to the crown. And guess what happened? The money that went to the crown went into who? Went to Columbus's ship voyage. That's what it went to. Go ahead.
The number of victims grew into tens of thousands.
The number of victims grew into tens of thousands. Go ahead.
To the Jews, the marranos were pitiful martyrs. The Jews maintained religious bonds with the marranos and kept strong their faith in the God of Israel.
Because you had Jews that were flat out rebellious. Listen, I ain't no Marrano. I'm a Jew. That's it. They felt bad for Marranos because the Marranos were faking it. They were faking it, but they were faking it till they made it. And they made it and still got persecuted. Despite their status. That's why we always say in class, you can never ever rise above the status of your people. Never. It will find the persecution, the word nigger will find its way to your doorstep. No matter where you live, no matter who you are, you will be a nigger in the eyes of the world. Read it again.
To the Jews.
When you're done with that, I just want to bring back a point to what you just said.
Okay.
The term nigger will follow you everywhere you go.
Okay.
It won't change. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
To the Jews, the marranos were pitiful martyrs. The Jews maintained religious bonds with the marranos and kept strong their faith in the God of Israel.
So they were comrades. We were cool with them, but we felt bad because these guys is basically fake. They were phony. Go ahead.
The Inquisition.
They were ashamed. They were hiding their nationality to stay alive. Go ahead.
The Inquisition finally became convinced, however, that only the total expulsion of the Jews from Spain could end Jewish influence in the national life.
So they came to the conclusion the only way for Spain to flourish is by getting rid of all of the Jews. Because the Jews that were keeping Judaism were influencing our people who converted to Christianity to come out of it and come back to their true faith. So they decided to get rid of all the Jews entirely. Just get rid of all of them. Go ahead. The Judaized ones. Go ahead.
Purity of faith became the national policy of the Catholic sovereigns, and thus came about the final tragedy, the Edict of Expulsion of all the Jews from Spain on March 31st, 1492.
1492. And I believe Columbus's voyage was October, the same year. Because these Jews are facing expulsion, so they chose to go with Columbus's voyage to avoid what? That. Go ahead.
Portugal promulgated an edict of expulsion in 1497, and Navarre in 1498.
So the Jews in Spain were expelled, and they fled to Portugal. Portugal said, can't come here either. They expelled you too. And they fled to Navarre, can't come here either. And it passed in 1498. So the curses followed us. We were running to Spain. We ran to Portugal. We ran to France. We ran to Navarre. No, where you go, you get expelled. Most sides are true. The most sides are genius. Go ahead.
No man shall save you.
No man shall save you. Right. Go down. We're gonna stop at
Shalom, brothers.
of the land.
Welcome back. Captain.
You're back. Go ahead. Of the land. Go ahead.
A considerable minority of Jews.
Where's of the land at? Where's of the land at? Can we skip it? Of the land?
Nah, we did.
We went past it. Damn, we went way past it.
Damn, sorry, Deacon.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. There's some good stuff in there, man. That's some good stuff in there. All right, that's good stuff. So, what you want to say, Ayin?
Yeah, so I was going to say, like you mentioned, even reflecting on Bishop's class yesterday with these apologetics,
Yeah, 28:15.
that we can only prove who we are with Deuteronomy 28, which is a lie, because the curses which still exist today, as we bring it out from history to now, remains the same. Now, real quick, can we get Zechariah 8, verse 13? And I sent you a link to Wikipedia. We're going to see how the curse followed us because we were a distinctive group of people. All right?
The book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 13. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah, and O house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not.
So God said, amongst the heathens, no matter where we went, we would be cursed. Now, how are we identified under this curse? Pull that up, that Wikipedia. Look at this term, Deke.
Negarimo?
Negarimo.
Negarimo.
And you could call, like, you know, and like you said,
Portuguese.
Niger, you know, it still means nigger. It's nigger. You pronounce it Niger, it's still constant. It has to do with this dark race of people, which were the Hebrews. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. All right. So go slowly. Go up. Go up. It says Portuguese. Go up. Go up. Go up.
Etymology Latin.
Latin. Niggerimus.
Niggerimus. Yep.
Niggerimus. In Brazil, right? Adjective, niggerima, right? Now go to the Latin meaning of nigger. And you're going to see all derivatives of the word. So no matter what country you were in, you were still a nigger, but pronounced a different way towards that language. Now, this is a Latin dictionary. The word nigger means black or dark.
Right.
Goes back to Acts 26.
Yep.
Right?
Acts 13.
Acts 13. Right? So you have nigger, nigrum,
Nigrum,
and nigra, right? So all these terms are derivatives, plural, masculine, feminine, of nigger. So no matter where you went in the world, you will still be a nigger, pronounced differently, spelled differently, but you were a nigger.
What Jay-Z said, still nigger.
Still nigger.
What's nigger in the Creole in Haiti?
Neg.
Yeah?
Neg.
Neg?
Neg. N-E-G.
Wow.
Neg?
That's like French.
Yep.
Neg.
You a neg.
Because I know another book we have that said neger. N-E-G-E-R.
Like we say, my nigga, neg pam. We always said that.
My neg pam?
Neg pam.
Neg
My
pam.
nigga.
Yeah. Neg
Damn.
pam.
Neg pam.
And that's a common,
Damn,
slang.
you saying Haiti, huh?
My nigga, yeah.
Why
My
you
niggas
laughing?
everywhere.
Look, listen.
Cap be tearing me up, man.
What I do? I didn't
Listen,
ask you
listen.
that.
Forget-
Oh, Nick Palm. Nick Palm.
Jess, how do you say nigga in Native American?
Dick, I wouldn't know that.
Hey,
I'm gonna
wasn't a
get
shot
back
against
to
you,
you,
was
Dick.
that?
I'm gonna get back to you.
You was looking, but you couldn't find
Wait,
them.
wait.
Hey,
You
officer,
thought, you think I was
when
looking?
Captain went
He
to
was.
Haiti,
You was
How
fishing.
you say nigga in Chickasaw?
That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
Wait,
Cat
see?
was- that's what I
Yeah,
got.
he was
Even
fishing, but he couldn't
suspicion
find
has
them.
overtone judgment. Listen, I was actually asking for educational reason. My man's from Haiti. He knows Creole, different language. He said every language but Haitian, but Creole. So I want to know, what is neg? He said neg pam. Now I got the
French
answer.
is derivative of Latin.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
you see how well he said it?
I came
Yeah.
in peace this time.
Remember when he went to Haiti, he was reading for...
Yeah.
I came in peace. Yo, you guys have spirits. Check your spirits,
Yo.
man.
Yeah,
You
we give you a
fishing.
compliment, man.
Cap, we don't
fishing.
trust you. Cap, we don't trust you, man.
So that.
He said Nick Palm.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, he going somewhere. He
I'm
going
using
somewhere.
that all day tomorrow. Next time.
Damn,
So
my brothers don't even trust me anymore.
anytime somebody have
That's your fault.
every time somebody have a issue of understanding that in the Bible that Niger means nigger, I just pull this up.
Right.
The Latin derivative, of the word nigger means dark and black.
Right. Well, since we're on that, give me real quick the definition of the etymology of necromancer, please.
Oh, man.
Since we're on it.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, Malcolm X had made the statement, and I thought he was making. I thought it was some Muslim rhetoric, or what did he say? Muslim anecdote. But it's not. It's not. He's on point. He was right. My brother was very, very well read. So I cannot knock. I did have to make sure, So the term necro goes back to the word Negro also. The word necro means dead. All right, so we're going to read. Is this the one I'm looking for? Hold on.
Yes, sir. It says it.
It says it, right? Yeah, let's read it.
Necromancy. 1300.
That's it. Go ahead.
Negromancy.
Yeah, Negro. Oh, wait. This is 1300, circa 1300. Nigromancy. Right? That's in the same Latin dictionary. Nigromancy. Go ahead.
Negromancy. Sorcery. Witchcraft.
Black
Magic.
Mancy's magic. Negro's black. Go ahead.
Properly divination by communication with the dead. From old Negromancy.
From Old French. Old French. You got to pay attention to that. Old French, which is like you said, negpam. That's Creole, same thing. Broken French. Old French is negromancy. Negromancy in French. Go ahead.
Magic. Necromancy. Witchcraft. Sorcery. From medieval Latin.
From medieval Latin now. What?
Negromantia.
Negromantia. Go ahead.
From Latin, necromantia.
From Latin, necromantia. Medieval Latin is negromantia. Then the original Latin is necromantia. Go ahead.
Divination. From an exhumed corpse.
Here comes the Greek.
Necromantia.
From Greek, necromantia. Go ahead.
From necros.
From necros. Go ahead.
Dead body.
Dead body. Go ahead.
From PI root, neck. Death.
Neck. Neck go back to neg. Go ahead.
Mantia, divination.
Wait, neck means dead. Death. Go ahead.
Mantia.
Divination.
Divination, oracle.
So go ahead.
From Montusata, to prophesy. From Montes, one who divines, a seer, prophet, one touched by divine madness. From Manastai, B.
Right. Go to the spelling was.
The spelling was influenced in medieval Latin by nigger. Black.
See?
Yep.
The spelling was influenced by medieval Latin by nigger. The spelling was influenced in medieval Latin by nigger, black, or what?
On notion of black arts.
Watch this.
The modern English spelling is a mid-16th century correction.
Mean necro rather than negro. Go ahead.
Related necromantic.
So the word negro means dead. Dead and black. That's what it means.
Can we get that? Revelation 11?
Yeah, let's get it. It means dead black people. That's what it means. Or dead black magic.
Dead people, dead bodies.
So when white man called us Negro, it meant black, but it meant dead too.
He knows what he's saying.
You know what he's saying.
Yep.
Watch that show Walking Dead? That's you. That's Negroes. I don't know what that was. What was that? Chimes? Revelation?
What's going on with the doorbell chime?
Revelation?
What's going on with doorbell chime?
11,
Not for nothing, I know who it was.
Me too.
It wasn't
Get the
IT
scriptures.
either.
Let's get to
IT
Revelation
doing
chapter
good.
11. Excuse me. Revelation chapter 11, verse 8.
Yo, there's something going on that side.
Go ahead, verse
The book
8.
of- can we get to the scriptures?
Brothers got doorbells.
You got chimes on your phone?
Hey, brother, you got the devil on you. Neck bomb.
Yeah.
Yo, wise to do evil. When it's time to do evil, brothers can speak Creole real good, bro. That's crazy.
Your neck bomb?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn. You memorize it.
Damn, bro.
I play ass
for
make
a
sure
word.
you can use it.
Wow.
Right, man.
Damn.
11-8, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 8.
Terrible, man.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
And neck palm shall live in the
Which is neck bomb. Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
This is Babylon. It's not Jerusalem, you idiots. It's Babylon. The great city is Babylon. So it's Jerusalem. Babylon.
Yep. Also, could we
I'm not even gonna break that down. I'm gonna leave that alone. When I come across y'all in person, I'm gonna destroy you thoroughly in person. I'm not gonna even
Deacon.
break it down.
Can I partake in the destruction, sir?
Well, you'll be there, Lord's Lord,
Thank
camp,
you.
when they come at camp.
Oh, I can't wait,
They're
Deacon.
just joking about Jerusalem.
I just want one
Don't do
slice,
it.
this one stab, Deacon, this one scripture.
Don't do it.
I just want to feel the glory.
Get Proverbs 21:16.
I was just about to say that.
You want to bathe your sword in apologetic blood.
I just want some.
Yeah, man.
Proverbs 21:16.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right, shall remain. So Esau's, the whole Inquisition was to what? Was to have us wander into the congregation of the dead. Make us dead. Conversos were black, dead people. Spiritually dead black people.
And they pull that thing right back up for me. That Latin different terms of Negro.
If you have any questions, you can text, you can call, you can text us. It's the number again. I always forget it. You can have any questions regarding the class. Don't ask me if the prophets rode brooms like Harry Potter. I'm gonna ignore you. Nonsense. 267-702-1621. 267-702-1621.
Right.
6121. Sorry.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
All right.
267-702-6121.
Yeah, Deacon, I was going to say with the term nigger and Negro, as you can see, even the Latin dictionary, it gives you the positive degree of the term. Sometimes the term is used and it's a positive connotation to represent that dark race.
Right.
All right, so you see the set of words on top, positive degree, go
I
up.
see. Wow, okay.
It says plural of the word, the dark race.
Negatives, right.
Comparative degree, keep going up. You got plural again, superlative degree. And that's when you go into the other languages that use that term to identify those people.
Right.
So wherever we go, we was that same constant people.
Right.
You understand? So there's different way that, like for example, the Inquisitions will use it in a derogatory way.
Right.
Call us black in a derogatory,
Right.
like we're nasty, we unlearn
Dead.
or whatever. You know, so it's a whole list.
Oh,
Right.
superlative.
Superlative, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Where we at? Isaiah 28. This is the marranos that gained status of noble families. You know, faking the like they wasn't really converted. That they were converted, faking like they were converted.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 14.
Superlative means a highest quality or degree. It's like a positive. Superlative means the highest degree of quality. Superiority, right. Go ahead.
Wherefore ye hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
These are the leaders. Go ahead.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Right, we made a covenant with the Spanish crown. Married into the families, gained status and wealth, all while faking ourselves as pretending to be sellouts. Go ahead.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
That was the Marranos. The Marranos believed if we faked it till we made it, we'd be good. But guess what? They got turned on also. They got massacred too. Go ahead.
For we have made lies our refuge.
Ain't that what they were doing? They were lying. They were pretending to be Christians and they weren't. They didn't stand their ground. They were pretending. They were pretenders and eventually got caught. And those who weren't pretending, they got punished anyway. Go ahead.
And under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Under falsehood, we hid ourselves as Marranos. And they suffered just the same as those who didn't hide themselves, which were the Jews. Give me 1 Maccabees 1, 11 to 15. So go to Maccabees, happened to Maccabees. Same thing. The reason why the Maccabees history and the Inquisition history is so similar is because it was the same battle against the same people. The Greeks pushed their own religion upon us to try to force us to convert to it. Likewise, the Romans did the same thing, and Spain did the same thing because it's the same people.
First Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 15. But when Alexander heard of this...
First Maccabees 1:11.
Sorry. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11.
Going back to marranos again. Go ahead.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Yeah, the covenant with death. Same thing. Go ahead.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Right, we're getting kicked out of the land, we're getting our goods confiscated. Because the Jews, those who chose to stand strong, they fled to Africa. They fled into that. They left Spain and said, you guys is fools. They're going to get y'all. We still cool, but they're going to get y'all too. And they did eventually. Go ahead.
So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Conversos, same thing. Go ahead.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
And sold out. And were sold to do mischief. They were bought out, bought off. Jump to verse 41.
Verse 41.
Regarding how it's the same principle, same thing, same people, different name.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That's the same as the Spanish Inquisition. We should all be Catholic. All should be Catholic. Not Jews, Muslims, and Christians. No. We should all be Catholics. All should be Christians. All in Christianity. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws.
No more Islam. No more Judaism. The Catholic faith. Go ahead.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Conversos. Consented is what?
Consented to his religion.
Consented to the Greek religion. To the Greek religion. Go ahead.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath.
Right, it did the same thing in the Spanish Inquisition. Same thing. Go ahead.
For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
The king in this instance is King Ferdinand. Go ahead.
And forbid burnt offerings, and sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves, and chapels of idols.
And what?
And chapels of idols.
What do Catholic churches call? Chapels. Mm-hmm. The Catholic Church calls them chapels. Chapels of idols. Go ahead.
And sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable.
Christian. Go ahead.
With all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Yeah, don't wash your behind. Go ahead.
To the end they might forget the law.
What's the purpose?
To the end they might forget the law.
That is the Spanish Inquisition. Get rid of the Judaizers. Get rid of legalism. Go ahead.
And remain dead.
And remain dead, yes. Go ahead.
And change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king.
What happened?
He said, he should die.
Spanish Inquisition all over again. The curses happen over and over and over again. I keep telling y'all this. Now, give me second Maccabee. No, give me oh damn. Give me Social and Religious volume 13. I hope you have it. I think I forgot it. Left that thing home.
Hey, so
You got volume 13 over there? Social and Religious? Please tell me you have it. Page 76? Yes, sir. All praises. Thank you. What are you saying, Jess?
So, Deke, at that time, the Judaizers were considered black extremists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like black extremists.
Just like today. They always, every captivity, as we was trying to, as our people, like with Nehemiah and Ezra, Zerubbabel, and so forth, they always considered us black extremists or whatever they called us at that time.
They call us out today black extremist identity.
The Messiah was a black extremist.
Radicals.
Radicals.
Black extremist identity. Yep. That's what.
Black identity extremists.
Backward.
So that's page 76. What we have? We have a question over there. What time is it? Okay, we got 10 minutes. Let's read this page first.
Okay.
We're going to read this page first to get to the question and go on break.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So start from ironically, and we're going to end at Jewish descent.
Blow it up.
Start at ironically and end at Jewish descent. It's in there somewhere.
Go down, go down, go down.
Right there, ironically. Right there, boom.
Ironically, however, some of the leading inquisitors,
Go ahead.
including the first two grand inquisitors,
The first two grand inquisitors. Go ahead.
Tomás de Torquemada
Thomas de Torquemada, that evil black bastard. Go ahead.
and Diego de Deza,
Another black bastard.
were of Jewish descent.
These are our people, man.
Wow.
The hell is this?
The head,
The head Christianity cops were our own people. You can't make this up, man. Made our wicked men who what? Joined themselves to the heathen. Made a covenant with death. That's them. This is them. Deza and Torquemada, worst niggas on earth.
So you got to look at the 1/3 and the 2/3 and the whole different light spectrum here. Now, the same people which you think that's preaching God's words, the same people that are your grandmothers, they're the ones that's gonna perish, because they're in the forefront of keeping the Israelites dead.
Yeah.
Those people in your own household, grandma, grandma is in she don't want to get rid of that white image of Christ. She's the head of this dead state.
man, what was the brother name in Django? The old
The butler?
Ben?
nah, who that nigga on that nag? Who what was his name?
I can't remember.
Django.
No.
Oh, Steppen.
Stephen. There's your your
That's
Stephens.
Yep.
There's your Stephens and so forth, man. Wow. They were the head department
Yep.
of the Inquisitors, man.
Yep.
So why, and in fact, read the whole thing. This is crazy. Read the whole thing. This is bugged out. That's crazy. I didn't even see that. Read the famous military orders.
All right, you want me to just keep reading from
Yeah.
ironically? Ironically, however, some of the leading inquisitors, including the first two grand inquisitors, Thomas de...
Wait, they were the first two. Grand. They were the first two general niggas. General inquisitors. Go ahead.
Tomás de Torquemada and Diego de Daza were of Jewish descent. The famous military orders likewise had many converso members.
Many what?
Many converso members.
See, many converso members. The famous military orders likewise had many converso members. Israelites, go ahead.
No lesser figures than Don Juan Pacheco, Marquis of Villena, Grand Master of the Order of Santiago, and one of the richest men in Spain.
Jake, go ahead.
And his brother Don Pedro Garan, Grand Master of the Order of Calatrava, were said to have Jewish ancestors on both sides of their family.
So you have instances where you had Edomites, fathers and black mothers, or these two had black on both sides of the family. These is Jake's grand Negroes. Go ahead. I'm gonna prove why. Watch. It's going to explaining why it's saying both sides of the family. It's explaining why. Go ahead.
As early as 1449.
Because some of these people, some of them were Edomite men who converted over to Judaism with black Jewish mothers, and you had some with black Israelite men with Edomite women, wives who converted over to Judaism also. And these are where your Sephardic Jews come from. Your Sephardic Jews come from them. The whites that intermingled and married into black families and converted into our religion, those are Sephardic Jews. Spanish fake Jews. Okay? Sephardic Jews. Go ahead.
As early as 1449.
Come on.
Petitioners to the Bishop of Cuenca, enumerated among the noble families of Jewish origin.
So wait, as early as 1499, petitioners of the Bishop of what?
Cuenca.
Of Cuenca enumerated what?
Among the noble families of Jewish origin.
Noble families of Jewish origin. Watch this, thanks. Go ahead.
The Herinques family.
The Henriquez family. The Henriquez family. Go ahead.
Whose descendants purportedly included the mother of Ferdinand the Catholic.
Oh, so King Ferdinand's mama was a black woman. King Ferdinand's mama was a black woman, but his father was a white man. I'm telling you. Watch this.
This rumor doubtless circulated in Jewish circles.
Rumor circulated in Jewish circles. His mom is black. King Ferdinand's mom. Watch this.
And gave rise to the aforementioned story of Isabella's rebuking her husband for his moderate attitude toward new Christians.
So King Ferdinand's attitude towards black people was moderate because his mother was us. So he had a soft spot for us. His wife influenced him to come down on his heart because she was all white. So his mama was a Negro. And so his wife had to egg him on to go, listen, kill them niggas. But his mom was a nigga. King Ferdinand's mom was Jake. But his dad was Esau, so of course that nature took over. But he had a moderate behavior towards him because his mom was the one he was raised by his mama. You understand? Because we remember the Jews who became marranos, they intermarried with the Edomite noble families. I'm gonna get into that later on. Remember I showed you earlier how the Moors married the Christians.
The Sangre Azul.
The Sangre Azul. That Sangre Azul is the whites that stayed to themselves.
Oh, okay, right.
The ones that had no Jewish blood in them. They were lying though. But remember I showed you about what's his name? Ali, the Takfin had a white wife.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
What's his name? Julius Caesar had a black lover, a woman.
Right.
Moorish queen, whatever.
Nature of the color line.
Right. So there was intermingling going on. So somewhere along the lines, King Ferdinand's mama was a Jew. All right? But the wife, she wasn't having it. So listen, I don't care if your mom's a nigga or not. Kill it, give it them niggas. Get them out of here. So now, give me black Latinos. That's crazy.
Was you gonna take the call?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes. We have a call and we have a text. So
we have a question.
First. The question first, and then the call.
Yeah. It says Shalom Deacon. This was where we went.
I'm trying to make it bigger, I guess.
All right, Shalom. You can leave it like that. Shalom Deacon. This was brought out in last week's class. What is the name of the book with the map of the Jew settlement in Africa? I'm gathering some history to wake up some of my brothers around me.
Wait, say it again. Read it again. I'm sorry.
It says this was brought out in last week's class.
Okay.
What is the name of the book with the map of the Jew settlement in Africa? I'm gathering some history to wake up some of the brothers around me. I think it was the map that was showing of where.
Berber Jew, which why I showed two maps yesterday. I showed two maps last week.
It has the Berber Jews.
That's
the second one. I think it was the second one.
It's the book with that we got. You know,
like 15 grand.
Yeah, I know. You can't get it anyway.
It's John Ogilvy. John Africa, right? No, Gabi. It's Gabi. Gabi, Africa.
Mysticism. I think what's Jewish myths? No.
Something Jewish myths. Something by Gabi.
Lost Tribes
and Myth. Lost Tribes and Myth by something Gabi. The book is very hard to find. It's very rare. So
unless you got your stimulus or something, man, you gotta go all out right now.
That book is very expensive.
You might be able to purchase it with that stimulus.
Maybe. That stimulus. Maybe. That's that one book. That stimulus.
And it's
we got a
call. Tons of nuggets in that one book.
Yeah.
Tons.
That's all you wanted? What's the call?
All right. Hello, caller. Welcome to our Hidden History Radio Show. What's your question?
I just wanted to know, was King Solomon into that necromancy too?
Yes.
He was, right.
Him and his wife.
That's how he failed and lost all his knowledge, right?
Yes, he didn't lose his knowledge, but he just went off with the women.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, man. Shalom.
He was involved in that, yes. Shalom.
All right, shalom. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Definitely involved in that. Chemosh and Egyptian, that's what they dealt with. Dead.
Is it part of the Kabbalah also?
Part of Egypt.
Yeah.
And the Kabbalah goes back to Babylon, yeah. So, yeah, all of that goes together. What else? Anything else? All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. What time is it now? It's 2:30. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned. Rest your mind. Get your notes together. We'll be back. Shalom.
History.
Shalom Israel, no sign Christ bless. Deacon Don here of IUIC Philadelphia. Tuned in to Our Hidden History Radio, where we go into deep understanding and history of who we are, according to the Bible, hidden artifacts, archaeology, the geography, all you can think of that shrouds around our history of the Bible. We go into it in depth. So Israel, like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube channel, Our Hidden History Radio. See you then. Shalom, no sign Christ bless.
Do you know it? Do you know?
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. Can't take you serious, you acting petty, making me laugh like Ed and Eddie. Run out the truth when things are too heavy, like Kevin Hart, he wasn't ready. I take a bullet, I die for my people. You pull the trigger just to get equal. Most of you people fall out cause it's hard. Take pressure like Job, I'm on my job. I can't believe it, in spiritual Egypt, my people are evil than ever before. They kill a nigga for chicken like damn, bruh, I can't even walk to the store. They be out here screaming, Jesus, I love you, when I know that it's a whole bunch of noise. I can make the world do whatever I want with the spirit of Christ. I got the force. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
I got it. This is a limited edition. No more crack cook in the kitchen. You cannot fathom the picture. The gods on the earth, the immortals are with you. You cannot even the odds. See that the kingdom is ours. Better make haste, you'll be down if you're not keeping these laws. I'm fighting these demons, I'm fighting these heathens. Got a long way to go. Whatever was written was always written, except for now against the ropes. Confusion of faces like mannequins, arranged things like Mandarin. That probably went over their ears, but I'm back again, demolition man.
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
That boy Kanye, he a con. Confused, the blackity blonde. I think he was in Vietnam. He get in the fight, he'll probably run. We do it for real, he do it for fun. We sit at the table, he begging for crumbs. He touching my plate, you know that ain't safe. He nuts, the vegan that made a mistake. Well done, not faithful servant for roasting this straight giant turkey. Confront him by his blasphemy, then vroom, that Kardashian. I ain't a regular rapper, every bar cold, maybe it register after. I know he probably ignore this, but till you repent, to save all that shit with the toilet. Whoa.
I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again. I gotta keep my integrity. I gotta walk like a man. You better speak up when you talk to me. You better lift up your chin. I'm about to take over the globe. I got the whole world in my hand. I've been here before, that's the reason he sent me to do it all over again.
The book of 1 Peter 2 verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, an holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours. Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours. I repented. And now my eyes wide open. Our lives golden, but we live and die chosen. Not knowing who we are, what the Most High spoken. Drive-bys rolling, gun by smoking. Our lives is like a token, just the way our lives stolen. Our mothers cry, moping while brother lies soaking. Saving lives is my focus. Take away, gotta sleep. I pray, shout, and preach in your way round the streets. I stay out to teach. In my camp, I seal flawless. You niggas still lost, repent, you got a real calling. Live ballin' in captivity, and all I'd rather reveal the fallen. Nation just so hated, I'm just praying y'all hear all his people. I'm talking about the 12 tribes. We ain't equal to these heathen, I held high. You got faith, I got scriptures, I don't sell pride. The Israelites tell truth, we don't tell lies. Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours. Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours. I'm a prince of the power. Big brick in his tower. Two-edged sword from the Lord, ready to get what is ours. In the length of the hour, Jesus Christ gon' strike the earth. Strike the curse upon his shoulders as we receive his might with mirth and life from birth from him who rose. For you Israelites who thirst, being filled with righteousness. As we bring to sight that verse of seeing the Israelite dispersed. Terror circling round and round from town to town, the trumpet sound. As we get him pound for pound. Down the ground, the nations fall, the Israelites be taking off. Now it's time to drink the cup, the Israelites is slaving off. Yeah, the nations making walls. As we walk on golden streets, perfect to uphold them. Me, thank y'all, we are the chosen seed. You a prince of the power, born to live in royalty. I'm a prince of the power, born and sealed with loyalty. Prophesying orally, Daniel 7:18. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, our Christ is gonna be made king. Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours. Repent. You a prince of the power. In the length of the hour, you see the strength of the power. 1 Peter 2:5, be a brick in his tower. Big fish that devour, take and get what is ours.
They don't make them out of used to. Old school riding in the new school. New school riding in the old school, but I'm playing with it. They don't make us how they used to. Old school blind to the new school. New school rocking with the wheel, look out. Seat back, chucking deuce. No, we don't get down how they used to, Why they gotta get in my lane, Straight is the way to the game, in my lane. Why they gotta get in my lane, Straight is the way to the game, in my lane.
I'm gone, can't stick around for too long. I'm moving on.
In my lane.
I've been missing, I'm missing in action.
In my lane.
Trying my best to read my blame. English fleeing from sin.
like, where we about to eat at? Serpent on the branch, I don't see that. They're like, nah, where you see that? They're like, hey, you should join us. Everybody about to be there. Many calls, you chosen. I can stick around, gotta keep going. I gotta remain with the same one. Gotta stay rooted, this is gonna come. Game
We're back. We're back.
To serious producer, man, right here.
You're now tuned into
Our Hidden History Radio show. See, y'all getting it. I purposely didn't do it. See, y'all
that was terrible. That was real.
Yeah, you're now tuned into
Our Hidden History Radio show.
Oh my God!
You know what? Y'all gonna get it.
Huh? The last one you messed up. You the one that you ruined the one.
I ain't ruining it, Cap.
Yes, you did.
Neck palm, fall back.
Next pop. Give me on Wikipedia. I want black Ladinos.
Family bouche.
Black Ladino. I want black Ladinos.
Y'all got that? Black Ladino.
Hold on. Just something real quick. That's in that link.
So yeah, as Deacon is bringing out, y'all see the atrocities that we were going through during the Spanish Inquisition. Hey, like the scripture says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. These are wicked people, man. All the tortures and so forth that they were meditating and thinking about doing to us, that shows how much they hate us. That shows that perpetual hatred that they have for us. And what you think they was doing when they was in the caves? They had all that time to really meditate and gather together, you know, what they wanted to do to us.
Mm-hmm. I want you, real quick, before we go there, I want you to go to Annals of Tacitus. Brother Adonai sent me this. Shout out to Brother Adonai for sending me this. I want to just read two different things. It's called the Annals of Tacitus, going into the Messiah. It's highlighted the page. Then I'm going to go to another book also called Open Season. These books I'll give you because I don't have them. They're pretty common to me. The Annals of Tacitus. It's in there, root me.
You just posted it?
Yeah, I posted it way last week. It's in the group me. Just go up. Look, you're going to see the image, Annals of Tacitus. You'll see a highlighted part. Just scroll up. Yeah, go up. Yep, it's up there. Keep going. Right there, that right there, and those there, that right there. Yep, read that. This is called the Annals of Tacitus. We read earlier how nothing new under the sun. Hebrews 11:26 and down. So blow that up real quick. This is the Annals of Tacitus. Yep, that's the book right there. Go over, blow that up. Let's read that real fast. Just kind of speed read through that one, Jess.
Yes, sir. Consequently, to get rid of the report, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted the most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations.
So King Nero, Caesar Nero, inflicted exquisite tortures on a class for their abominations. Abominations. Go ahead.
Called Christians.
Called what?
Christians.
That's us. Christians. Go ahead.
By the populace.
Mm-hmm. By the people. Go ahead.
Christus, from whom the name had its origin.
Christus is the Messiah. In Latin, Christus. Go ahead, the Messiah. Go ahead.
Suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate.
Uh-huh.
And a most mischievous superstition thus checked for the moment. Again, broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome.
The doctrine of Christ was the abomination. That was checked. The Messiah was checked for the moment. He was neutralized. Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, same thing. The Messiah, the same thing. Go ahead.
Where all things hideous and shameful from every part of the world found their center and became and become popular. Accordingly, an arrest was first made of all who pleaded guilty. Then, upon the information, an immense multitude was convicted, not so much of the crime of firing the city as of hatred against mankind.
So they were considered what? Haters of mankind, a hate group. The Messiah and his disciples were considered a hate group, haters of mankind. Go ahead.
Mockery of every sort was added to their deaths.
Remember Hebrews 11, mockery, stoning. Watch this.
Covered with the skins of beasts.
Remember we said they wore goat skins and they wore sheep skins. That's in the Hebrews 11. Same thing. Go ahead.
They were torn by dogs and perished.
They were what?
They were torn by dogs and perished.
1960s, torn by dogs. Chased by dogs from slavery. Bloodhounds. Pit bulls. You watch Django. The man, what's his name? His name was D'Artagnan. Torn by dogs. And Django watched that thing. Nothing new. Go ahead.
Or were nailed to crosses.
Nailed to crosses. Go ahead.
Or were doomed to the flames and burnt.
Whoa, burnt at the stake. That's the Spanish Inquisition. I'm showing you. This is Rome. Go ahead.
To serve as a nightly illumination.
To a burn at the stake to do what?
To serve as a nightly illumination when daylight had expired.
They used us as street lights. We were night lights on fire. King Nero. All because we were following the Judaism. Messianic Judaism. Go to the next book I have. It's called Open Season regarding Black and Dead. It's in the group me also. It's right above this one. Right above this image here. Bring it, scroll it up. Yeah, go right there. These two. This is the book, brother. This is the book that a brother had presented way back. And this statement he made struck me. Yep. Going back to Negro meaning dead and black. Watch this. Open Season by Ben Crump. Read that statement right there. Blow it up.
In other words, there are many ways to kill a race of people.
There are many ways. Remember earlier about the Jews were facing extinction. Earlier. There are many ways to kill a race of people. Go ahead.
You can take away their hope for a better life. You can deny them access to quality food and health care.
That's our people. Likewise, in the ghettos, the same thing in Spain. Bad quality living, bad health, same thing. Go ahead.
You can flood their community with drugs. You can take away safe, decent housing. You can lock them up for crimes they did not commit. In short, you can kill their spirit so they become the walking dead.
Boom.
Wow.
Kill their spirits, they become the walking dead. Negro. They become Negroes.
Walkers.
You went from Israelites to Negroes. That's what you become. Walkers. Thank you. You become exactly walkers. Now go to hold on. What I want.
And Dick, that's crazy. You got the day walkers and the night walkers.
Right.
The day walkers, the working class under Christianity. The night walkers, the drug dealers, the killers. You know what I mean? All our people in the wickedness.
Go above that. Go above that now. Go above that, Ben Carson. Yeah, go to the top above that. That page right there, the orange highlight and that. This is called what? Those two right there. Those two. Download those two images there too. Yep. Click that.
The Anatomy of Physiology Workbook for Dummies.
The Anatomy and Physiology Workbook for Dummies. The Anatomy and Physiology Workbook for Dummies. Watch this.
The pink to red color of Caucasian skin is caused by hemoglobin.
Blood.
The red pigment of the blood cells. Because Caucasian skin contains relatively less melanin, hemoglobin can be seen more easily through the epidermis.
Through their face. So it says from pink to red. These are not white people. They are pink to red people.
So stop calling them white.
Stop calling them white people.
They're
not white people. Even I slip sometimes. They're not white people. They are pink to red people.
Or rednecks.
Edomites. Edomites. That's what they are. That's who they be. All right? By their own science for dummies. Go to Latinos now. Trying to find that thing with
What you looking for, D?
Hold on.
You got the black Ladino.
Yeah, there's a website I have about Latinos. I'm trying to find it. Go there first. I'll find it. Go there, read that first. We're gonna go to Black Latino Wikipedia. Black Latinos. I had something about Latinos up here somewhere. I'm trying to see if I posted it. Sephardim.
All right. Black Latinos.
Nah, that's going too far ahead. Let me go to my favorite song. Go to my Chrome.
Yeah, so take heed to this history that's coming out. As you say, as Bishop was bringing out yesterday, he said history has it tends to repeat itself. Okay, so these things are slowly happening all over again. All right, this is the small stages of it right now. Just how it was what called contractions. It was contractions at that time, and then what happened? It burst. It just it was an all-out war. You know what I'm saying, on the Spanish Inquisition. All right, so the same thing is going to happen again. All right.
I sent this Juan Garrido. I have it already, but I sent it again. Juan Garrido. Let's go there. Go to Black Latinos first. It's on the bottom now. Juan Garrido. Yeah, that. Click that. But go to Black Latinos first. Black Latinos.
All right, Black Latinos. Spanish. Negros Latinos.
Negros Latinos. Latin niggas. That's what it's saying. Latin Negroes, what it's saying. Go ahead.
Were Hispanicized Black Latinos.
Were Hispanicized Black Latinos. Or Hellenized Black Latinos. Go ahead.
Exiled to Spanish America after having spent time in Spain.
They were exiled to Spanish America after having spent time in Spain. Exiled to Spanish America. Go ahead.
They were referred to as Negros Latinos, cultivated or Latinized blacks.
Cultivated, meaning they were civilized. These were the brainwashed Negroes. Go ahead.
Or Latinized blacks, as opposed to Negros Baseles, Basal blacks, those captured in Africa.
Meaning slaves. So you had the Latinized Negroes, house niggas. Then you had the ones that were brought over as slaves. So these are Black Latinos, these are conversos. And the ones that revolted said, the hell with that, those that were brought over here by force. Jews that remained steadfast and strong and firm, brought over as slaves. Negroes that gave in, Latinos. Where the term Latinos comes from. Same term. Go ahead.
The Ladino skills granted them a higher price than those of the Baseles.
Because they spoke multiple languages, they were more skilled and expert in Spanish culture and literature. Because remember, the first the first colonizers over here was the Spaniards, the Portuguese. So the Negroes that were civilized or Hispanicized had a wealthier price. Because they were already civilized, can speak, can read, can write, all of that stuff. Go ahead. The Jews could too, but they weren't civilized. They were the ones you had to break them in. The Jews. Go ahead.
Black Latinos born in the Americas were Negros Criollos, Creole blacks.
Damn, there you go, officer. Creole blacks.
Creoles of color.
Creoles of color.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I said I was lying because it's a Creole.
Yeah, Creole.
Black Latinos born in Americas are called Negros Criolla.
Yeah.
Creole blacks.
The neck palms.
Pretty much. Go down.
Yeah. Just saying, we in the history.
Right there.
Cat feeling some type of way right now, D. I don't know what's going on.
Guilty conscience. Go ahead.
Where we at?
Go up to the top.
Can't exclude us.
Well, you're not at the top.
Right there.
We
History.
in there, Cap.
History.
We made it, man. 12,000. We made it. We in there, Cap.
You got anything to say?
History. Prior to the arrival of Columbus to the Americas, there were black people who either lived as freemen, were brought through the Arab slave trade,
or the Castilian
or Portuguese colonization of Africa.
Slave trade also. Go ahead.
After some time in Spanish society, those Africans became Christianized and learned Spanish.
Latinos, go ahead.
There were 50,000 black Latinos in Spain in the 15th century. Although black Latinos came from many parts of the African continent, most had their origins in the Upper Guinea region.
That was where they brought slaves to. So St. Thomas Island and New Guinea. Go ahead.
Including modern-day Senegal,
West Africa,
Mali,
West Africa,
Mauritania,
Northwest Africa,
and Guinea.
See? Or West, that's where Israel was. Go ahead.
After the initial stages of the Spanish colonization of the Americas showed that the Amerindians were not suitable for the labor that the conquerors required, mainly due to the Eurasian illnesses unknown in the Americas.
But white man brought diseases over here and killed us. Go ahead.
Smallpox.
Yep. All of that stuff.
Nicolas de Ovando decided to bring slaves from Spain between 1502 and 1518. Castile exiled hundreds of black slaves, primarily to work as miners. Opponents of their enslavement cited their Christian faith and their repeated attempts of escape.
Wait, is that between what year?
1502, 1518.
So they brought us over here before 1619. So why does Esau keep emphasizing on 1619? That's another class. Why Esau keep emphasizing on 1619 is a whole different topic in itself.
The slave ships didn't first arrive in the
They did not.
1600s.
They did not. They arrived in this time.
Because remember, even the Spanish ships in before the Mayflower, they mentioned that.
Yeah.
The Spanish ships came over
in late 1400s of Inquisition.
Yeah, Inquisition 1500s, and the first slaves were Spanish Negroes.
Yes, the Latinos. But we're gonna find out why Esau has put such emphasis on 1619. Why is that so important? We're gonna get to that.
Bring it out,
So, does that
Bring
year,
that out, D.
I think, does that year, 1502, 1518, fall in a dark age era? The dark ages?
Yes.
Right.
It does.
So those slaves was probably of royalty.
It was.
That they took and brought to...
Yeah.
Remember, right. We were being expelled.
We were being expelled from Spain and
from
Portugal.
Spain.
We were falling. We were falling, yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says something to Dick, like the capital city of Haiti, called the Port of Princes.
Yeah.
Right.
Port-au-Prince. The Port of Princes.
So that's
Go ahead.
They took the princes.
Yeah, pretty much. Go ahead.
Right, yo, I can't take it, man.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Man.
Could we zoom in on his face?
Oh, my God.
Zoom in on...
Listen,
I'm
man.
trying to focus.
Listen, man. Back to the show, man.
Now we finally find out.
I'm going to get back.
If we want to get under captain's skin, all we got to do is just mention Haiti.
Yeah.
That's it.
I didn't say
Haitian.
I'm minding my business. I'm tuning to class.
But the official inspection cap.
Go ahead, come on. 1502 to 18.
Between 1502 and 1518, Castile exiled hundreds of black slaves, primarily to work as miners.
So 1518, it says Castile exiled hundreds of black slaves, primarily to work as what?
Miners.
As miners. So these are Jews from Spain that are brought over. Go ahead.
Opponents of their enslavement cited their Christian faith and their repeated attempts of escape to the mountains or to join the Native Americans in revolt.
So the Jews of Spain tried to join forces with the Native Americans to fight against the white man because they're brothers, speaking the same language anyway. Go ahead.
Proponents declared that the rapid diminution of the Native American population required a consistent supply of reliable, low-cost workers. Free Spaniards were reluctant to do manual labor or to remain settled.
White people ain't trying to work. They say, I ain't working. I ain't doing that. I'm free. I ain't doing none of that work. Let the niggas do it. Go ahead.
Especially after the discovery of gold on the mainland. And only slave labor assured the economic viability of
the colonies.
So
they have black Latinos and slaves working together. So now. Give me Juan Garrido. Huh?
The example, the Berbers.
Oh, go down. What did I say? Go down to Go down.
Example right there.
Examples.
Oh, he's well known too. Esteban Cinco.
Esteban Cinco.
Right.
A Berber captured by the Portuguese and sold to a Spanish conquistador. Damn. A Berber. That's El Kahena. That's the Maghreb. That's our people.
Look at the second.
The slaves and the what?
Schooner.
The slaves in the schooner, the La Amistad, were Mendez.
Amistad?
Amistad. That's it.
That was Manessa.
Damn. Go ahead.
The slaves in the schooner La Amistad were Mendez captured in Africa, but were described as Ladinos.
Wow.
by their Cuban buyers to avoid the ban on the international slave trade.
Wow.
Damn.
So Amistad, those are Latinos. The movie Amistad, those were Spanish, Hispanicized Jews, blacks from Spain.
Good job, Levi.
Good. Give us.
Hey, cut that out.
Give
man.
us 3.
Look
at the bottom, Afro-Spaniard.
What's going
Give
on?
us free.
Read that. Current what?
The headsets went out. What's going on?
Afro-Spaniard.
Afro-Spaniard. Current inhabitants of Spain of African descent.
That's Jews.
Emancipados, black Spanish Guineans who enjoyed a special status by their Roman Catholic and Spanish education.
Latinos. Those are the nobles. The marrano. That's them again. That's all we need. Damn, that's crazy. Go to the next one. Go to Juan Garrido. Juan Garrido.
Yeah,
Black Spaniards. Damn.
Esteban, he the one that stayed over here. He came over here he sold to the Spanish conquistador, and then they came over, and he ended up staying over.
Luis de Torres did too. Stayed over here too. Married some Native American wives and lived his life. Whatever. Read that. Juan Garrido was a what?
Juan Garrido, African conquistador.
Was an African conquistador, a Ladino. Go ahead.
We know quite a bit about Juan Garrido, 1487 to 1547. Thanks to his written petition for a pension from the Spanish government. When we add more detail from Spanish colonial records, we see a man who led a full and exciting life. We know that Garrido fought for Spain in Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Guadalupe, Dominica, Florida, and Mexico.
So he was a soldier among the conquistadors. The Hispanicized Negro. Civilized Negro. Go ahead.
Like the other conquistadors, he was in search of fortune, or at the very least, a comfortable life for his family. He did win some spoils and farmland from conquered natives.
He helped white folks conquer his people on this side of the world. Go ahead.
He even owned African and Indian slaves.
Damn. He got slaves for himself. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, like most of the treasure-hunting conquistadors, he died poor.
See, he can never rise above the status of people.
All praises.
All praise to the Lord. He lost all that money he got. He's a greedy black person. Go ahead.
Unlike his fellow conquistadors, Juan Garrido appears to be the first free black person in the Americas. And he was the first person to grow wheat in the New World.
Wow. Go ahead.
And he still died poor.
He still died poor. Go ahead.
Set out.
Black conquistadors. Juan Garrido was not alone. Other black Africans found their way into Spanish society rather than slavery. Many joined the conquest as soldiers, some in exchange for freedom, others for financial compensation. Sometimes they enjoyed rewards like the Spaniards got, including land, official jobs, and pensions. Often they had to plead their own case in written petitions.
But they were still considered niggas. It didn't matter what stats they had or they fought in the military. Even like today, black folks fought in Vietnam. They're thinking on crack and dope and cocaine.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee Airmen, same thing. You watch movies like Dead Presidents, the Five Bloods. Them dudes went through hell when they came back from the military.
Also in World War I, they had it's called Red Summer, where they killed most of us that came back.
Right. Go ahead.
The Crown usually acknowledge their petitions, but don't always grant them regardless of Spain's reward to them. They all receive...
No, the Crown usually acknowledge their petition, but didn't always grant them. It's okay, good job, nigga. You write very well. Thank you for their grants. Go ahead.
Hey, move it over. Why is it cut off? Right there. Regardless of Spain's reward to them, they all receive their share of the loot taken from the Native Americans.
Damn. Go ahead.
A free African Spaniard.
A free Ladino. Go ahead.
Juan Garrido was born in 1487 on the west coast of Africa.
Damn, here we go again. West coast of Africa.
And moved to Lisbon, Portugal as a young man. His freedom among slavers is still a mystery. Historian Ricardo Alegria suspects Garrido's father was a king who traded with the Portuguese.
Damn, his father sold him off. Go ahead.
This theoretical African king may have set young Juan up as a commercial liaison, sending him for a Christian and Portuguese education.
Wow. Go ahead.
Other historians presume Garrido was a slave who was granted freedom. This theory comes from the coincidence of his name matching a Spaniard's on his first voyage to the New World. The 15-year-old African boy traveled from Lisbon to Seville, Spain, and in 1503 he joined the convoy to Hispaniola with the island's newly appointed governor. A Spaniard on the ship with him was named Pedro Garrido. Pedro might have been Juan's master and Christian's namesake.
And Christian namesake. See that? He was Christianized with that name. Baptized with that name, his owner's name. Like all of our former last names. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dick, that's why it says that he went to that Christian education.
Yeah, exactly. His father may have sold him off into that. Go ahead.
But, at 15 years old, man, this dude was doing a lot.
He's a kid, right?
15.
Go ahead.
Either way, Juan's name surely was not Juan in Africa.
Right. It was changed later on. Go ahead.
Guerrero spent 6 years at Hispaniola watching explorers pillage the New World.
Wow.
The Spanish government allowed the conquistador to take land, people, and treasure. It was the crown's attempt to convert the world to Catholicism. Guerrero signed on for the conquest in 1508. He joined Juan Ponce de Leon.
Damn, he joined Ponce de Leon. Go ahead.
With about 50 conquistadors to look for gold in Puerto Rico. They found it, and Guerrero's life became a 30-year adventure of exploring, fighting, and looting. Ponce de Leon settled Puerto Rico and became its governor. Guerrero settled there too and fought against the natives when they revolted in 1511. Wow. When Ponce lost his position to Diego Columbus in 1513, he took Guerrero and other soldiers to look for another treasure island. Instead, they found the huge peninsula of Florida. They were not equipped to take on the Florida natives. They claimed it.
Reuben whipped their behind. Reuben, go ahead.
They claimed it, named it, and planned to return later to conquer it.
Named it Florida. Go ahead.
Duty called.
Naming means land of flowers. Florida, like florist. Land of flowers. Go ahead.
Duty called back in the Caribbean. The Carib Indians were launching ferocious revolts against the Spanish. Guerrero scouted the islands with Ponce, pacifying, fighting, and enslaving Native Americans.
Damn.
Then it was back to Puerto Rico. Ponce's wife died, and he spent the time raising his daughters. Meanwhile, Guerrero assisted other small expeditions and mined for gold.
Yeah, it's good. That's what he was doing.
Killing
money.
Ponce and company finally returned to Florida in 1521 with settlers, livestock, supply, and weapons to control the natives. Florida's Indians ran the settlers off before they.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
All right, so duty called back in the Caribbean. The Carib Indians were launching ferocious revolts against the Spanish.
No, go Ponce and Company.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ponce and company finally returned to Florida in 1521 with settlers, livestock, supplies, and weapons to control the natives. Florida's Indians ran the settlers off before they even got settled.
Right, because they couldn't settle it. Go ahead.
Ponce took an arrow, shot, and rushed to Cuba for medical attention, but Spanish doctors couldn't save him. He died a month later.
All praises. Go ahead.
Guerrero had worked for Ponce for 13 years.
Damn, good nigga. Damn. 13 years. So that's a black Ladino. That's what he was. So you have black Latinos that helped Esau, Minor, conquer our people. On this side. Get 2 Maccabees 4 and 14. You have civilized nations like the what's it called? Buffalo Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example, Buffalo Soldiers, same thing. Fighting against Native Americans.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 14. That the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting their sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in a place of exercise. After the game of discus called them forth.
They became athletes. The Olympics, discus, the game discus is Olympics. Go ahead.
Not saddened by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Loving the white man, loving the red man best of all. Go ahead.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers.
They were our enemies and avengers against us for going against our God, but yet we loved them anyway. Go ahead.
Whose custom they followed so earnestly.
Whose customs we follow so earnestly. Their customs is how they dressed, their language, how they spoke, how they lived, their religion, their ideologies, all the above. Their idols. Go ahead.
And unto whom they desired to be like in all things.
We desired to be like the nation Esau in all things, like the Spanish in all things. the Portuguese in all things, the Greeks in all things, the Romans in all things. Go ahead.
For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of God. But the time following shall declare these things.
Right. The time followed declared those things, and we got destroyed by them and sold in slavery. Now give me go back to Marranos and go to the hatred. We read that past. You might have passed that already. The hatred. You did, right?
Yes, sir.
428. Okay, go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, verse 45.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And verse 46.
No, 145. So wherever Israel fled to, we underwent the curses, underwent the atrocities, stripped naked, tortures, all the above. We faced all kinds of opposition, all affliction for violating God's laws. It didn't matter where we were, what time it was, the curses soon followed. Our victories and our success was temporary because the times of the Gentiles had to be fulfilled. So us ruling over Spain, Portugal, and ruling as the king of England, and ruling over Russia, and ruling over France, and ruling in these areas was short-lived in the eyes of God. 1,000 years is a long time. 700 years is a long time, but in the eyes of God, that's nothing.
It's one day.
That's like not even a day. That's a few seconds to him. That's 1 second to God. All right. So now give me the Moorish, the Empire. Give me volume 3. I'm on page 171. Yep. Page 171. We're going to start at such were, and we're going to end in page 172, prescription.
Such were the Hebrews of the Middle Ages, whose success...
Such were what?
Such were the Hebrews of the Middle Ages.
What ages?
Middle Ages.
The Dark Ages, during the Negroes of the Middle Ages. Continue.
Whose success in literature, art, science, commerce, politics, and diplomacy is to be attributed to the impulse originally imparted to their genius.
Wow, to our what?
To their genius.
To our genius. We made the almanac. Oh, I left something out also. We also came with algebra, too. Al is the. Manat means the measure. Al means the, and jabra means it means the division. Like putting things together that's divided, putting it together. Algebra, that's us too. So we made algebra. I hate algebra, but that came from us too. Because our genius has shrunken. Not all of us, but our intellect, our education of our forefathers supersedes our education we have today. Us building pyramids, us building ships. We didn't have the technology we had now. We were able to do things far more advanced and beyond than what our oppressor has today. That he can't even deal with today. You got something? You see that smile on your face. That means you got something.
I'm looking for it, D. I'll finish up.
You terrible, man. Terrible. 171.
I don't want to stop anything. So such were the Hebrews of the Middle Ages whose success in literature, art, science, and commerce, politics, and diplomacy is to be attributed to the impulse originally imparted to their genius and to the privileges enjoyed by their ancestors under the generous and tolerant policy of the caliphs of Cordova.
Under the Muslims. Go ahead.
The expulsion of the Spanish Jews is one of the saddest and most deplorable tragedies in history.
Wow.
The royal edict which decided their fate and whose execution had been deferred until the Moorish wars were ended was published March 31st, 1492.
So it's accurate. Go ahead.
The charge brought against them of having menaced the security of the state and the tranquility of the church by a projected conspiracy.
Stop. We just read that same thing in the Annals of Tacitus regarding the Christians and the Messiah. How they were haters of mankind. They were teaching abominations. It's the same slander. They're a hate group, black identity extremists. They're jeopardized. It says that they were menaced the security of the state and the tranquility of the church. Ain't that they accuse us of? Aren't the Israelites accused of the same thing? Menacing the church? People leaving the church because of us? It's the same thing. Go ahead. By projected conspiracy. Not facts. Conspiracy. Go ahead.
It's too absurd to be seriously considered.
The conspiracies were too absurd to be considered. They're violent. They're murderous. They hate everybody. That's not true.
Preaching hate.
They preach hate. We're preaching keep the commandments of God. Marry your women. Marry your men. Raise your children. Don't celebrate pagan holidays. That's evil. That's wicked. Too absurd to be considered. Same thing. Go ahead.
To strengthen these unfounded accusations.
To strengthen these unfounded accusations. Go ahead.
To strengthen these unfounded accusations, the threadbare fables relating to the sacrifice of Christian infants at Easter and the repeated solicitation of Catholics to apostasy were once more utilized to inflame the passions of the fanatical multitude.
Right.
3 months only were allowed for the disposal of their property and the completion of their preparations for departure.
We were allowed 3 months only were allowed for us to leave with the or get our property taken from us. To leave Spain and Portugal. We were given 3 months to get our stuff together and leave from Spain and Portugal. Go ahead.
And if that term was exceeded,
and if they went beyond those 3 months,
the proclamation made them liable to the seizure of their chattels.
Then we lose our possessions.
And even to the penalty of death.
Or get put to death.
They were prohibited from removing from the kingdom money or vessels of gold or silver.
We cannot take our money with us. Go ahead.
And only objects specified in the royal ordinances which they were permitted to retain were bills of exchange and portable effects which could easily be transported.
Paper, not even gold and silver. That stay with us. But you can bring your paper money. Bring that. Bring your little bills. Bring that. Your couch, your chairs, your blankets. You bring that. But your money, that stay with us. Go ahead.
The Grand Inquisitor, Torquemada.
Here we go. Megpalm. No, not even Megpalm. He ain't my nigga. He's just a nigga, period. Go ahead. Just a neg.
That's it.
Revered in the annals of the church as one of her most famous champions and a confessor of Queen Isabella.
So Queen Isabella will go to him to confess her sins. Ain't that something?
It's crazy.
Go ahead.
Torquemada revered in the annals of the church as one of her most famous champions and the confessor of Queen Isabella, to whose credit stand the tortures of 100,000 heretics and the grief and misery of other unnumbered multitudes, was the inspiring spirit of this atrocious crime against humanity.
This dude was the one that was doing the cutting in half. The Judas cradle. That was him.
The hell is this?
Torquemada was the one that was helping torture us. That was him. He was involved in that stuff. He was a terrible Negro. Terrible, man. Go ahead.
His influence. Neutralized the supplications of an entire people.
Damn.
The remonstrances of the few statesmen who, withstanding the popular clamor, foresaw the certain decline of commercial prosperity incident to the enforcement of this measure. The insidious and hitherto omnipotent agency of vast sums of gold.
Go ahead.
Accounts differ materially as to the numbers of Jews expelled from Spain. It was, however, not less than 400,000, and it was probably near 1 million.
Yeah, 1 million of us got expelled. Go ahead.
Their sufferings equaled, if they did not surpass, those of the Moriscos.
So the conversos, or the Jews, they suffered, the Moors and Jews suffered the same. Mm-hmm. Despite one being in Judaism and one being Islam, they were both the same people, suffered the same conditions.
Right.
Go ahead.
Their sufferings equaled, if they did not surpass, those of the Moriscos. Afterwards, condemned by similar prescription.
Afterwards, condemned by a similar prescription. The Moriscos were persecuted after the Jews were put out. They came later because Islam wasn't a threat. Judaism was. So they put us out first. And remember, the Moriscos or converted Muslims got put out afterwards. Now, let's get Moriscos Wikipedia. We're going to end that 16th century. Almost done. We're going to end that 16th century. Morisco's Wikipedia. I'm gonna finish this up. It's almost bottom of the page. Morisco's. We're gonna end on Wikipedia. We're gonna end at 16th century. Give me social and religious again. Volume 15, page 184. On top of that, we're gonna end it on that.
Got it? All right. Morisco.
Yep, Morisco's. The bishop had asked you who these, what the name was last night. These are Moors that converted to Christianity.
Moriscos. Portuguese, Moriscos. Spanish for Moorish, were former Muslims and their descendants whom the Roman Catholic Church and the Spanish crown commanded to convert to Christianity, or compulsory exile after Spain outlawed the open practice of Islam by a sizable Muslim population. Term Majudar in the early 16th century.
In the early, so termed Majudar in the early 16th century. So these are Muslims that converted to the Christian faith because they were the majority of inhabitants in Spain at this time, which led to them eventually being expelled as well because they were also a threat because they were still Israelites as well. I'm going to prove that the Moriscos and the conversos, which were Jews, are the same people. Give me the next book now. Volume 15, I want page 184. We're going to stop at It Is Unclear, and we're going to end at Outside Grenada. I'm going to show you that these are the same. I said it before. I showed it earlier, but I'm going to show it again. Excuse me. That the Moors and Jews were the one and the same. It is unclear. We're going to stop at Outside Grenada. Go ahead.
It is unclear to what extent the revocation was connected with the new attitude taken by the government toward
New attitude.
I'm sorry, new attitude taken by the government toward the Spanish Moriscos.
Stop. So it's saying they're not sure what led to the Spanish crown turning against the Moors, the Moriscos. Go ahead.
Whose position was then reaching its ultimate crisis. Although, technically, they too belong to the general category of new Christians.
The Moors belong to the same category as the new Christians. Go ahead.
And indeed revealed many similarities to those of Jewish ancestry.
Stop. The Moors did what? Read again. The what?
And indeed revealed many similarities to those of Jewish ancestry.
So the Moriscos were Moors that were of Jewish ancestry. They're the same people. The conversos, or new Christians, and the Moriscos were of Jewish ancestry. Same people. Moors and Jews, same people. That's the point.
All praises.
Go ahead.
Most Moriscos were of the same ethnic descent as the old Christians, and being a predominantly rural and impoverished population, appear less interesting to the inquisitorial agents and publicists outside Grenada. Nevertheless...
Wait. That's a bone there. And most Moriscos were of the same ethnic descent as the old Christians. No, they were not. Moriscos are not the same descent as... I'm not sure old Christians represents in this book. Because I know old Christians represents sometimes Esau, and sometimes it represents the disciples, I think. Like the original disciples, I believe.
Oh, right.
In some books.
But sometimes, right. So, but I know here they say new and old.
Right. So it's saying that the Moors related to the white people. That's a bone. It says of Jewish ancestry. The Moors were related to the Jews. This book is trying to say that the Jews and the old Christians and Moors were of the same ancestry. Yeah. In a way, yeah, because Esau and Jacob are brothers, if you want to go that route.
Right, and also they was accepted to families, too. Right. I got that pulled up in a Nature Knows No Color line.
Oh, yeah,
they were included in some of the families.
Right. That's right. We read that earlier. Right, they intermarried. Right, that's true. So they intermarried. The Moors and the old Christians were intermarried. I forgot about them. About Takfin, the Sultan, had a white wife and so forth. So, yeah, that makes sense. In that reference, yes. Because the old Christians, like King Ferdinand's mother, she was a Moor.
Moor, right.
So, yes. So, okay, in that instance, yes, they are related, yes. In some instances, yes.
In some instances.
Yes, go ahead.
Nevertheless, the Spanish government long conducted an implicable campaign to uproot their old folkways. Philip II issued in 1568 a harsh decree which, among other matters, forced many Moriscos parents to place their children in old Christian homes.
Wow, to place their children in old Christian homes.
Foster homes.
Deuteronomy 28, 32, 41, Ezekiel 23. Go ahead.
For a fully Christian education.
For like Garrido. Like Juan Garrido, fully Christian education. Remember in Maccabees, learning the way of the Greeks. The children became Antiochians. Go ahead.
A measure reminiscent of a similar Visigothic enactment with respect to children of Jewish converts.
Wow. Go ahead.
The increasingly oppressive inquisitorial prosecution.
The increasingly oppressive inquisitorial persecutions. Go ahead.
Which led to the condemnation of a 14-year-old girl for exclaiming Muhammad, and of another culprit for stating that God would reward the good.
That's it. So, again, the point is that the Moors and the Jews were of the same descent. That's the point I want to bring out. Okay?
Real quick, D. Y'all can pull that page up for me. 65 in Nature's Knows, No Color Line.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 short paragraphs
Sure.
that gets straight to the point to what you were saying.
Sure. Yeah.
Which links that history. So this is how we connect scripture with history, our hidden history. Y'all take notes. And this book is not an expensive book to get. Nature Knows No Color Line.
Right.
All you guys should have that book in your libraries. Page 65. The highlighted one. Jazz, the second paragraph and the last one.
Right here?
Yes. Go down.
The Negro.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
The Negro came first to the Indies from Spain, not from Africa.
Wow. Oh my God, man.
Straight to the point.
Damn, what page is that?
65.
That's the other book, Before the Mayflower.
Right.
Right, yes, sir.
And what brought me to this was that year that we read from the 15th centuries, 1502.
Right.
The Dark Ages, we were in Spain ruling. Right.
Right. Read again.
The Negro came first to the Indies from Spain, not from Africa. And as Euclides de Acana said of Brazil, the mulatto was not made in America.
Wow.
He came to us already made from the mother country.
Mm-hmm.
The African Negro slave trade was more abundant during the 15th and 16th centuries.
That's the timeline we saw in the other excerpt.
Right, 15th, 16th centuries.
Yeah.
For the peninsula.
No, we got to start. Read it again.
Mm-hmm.
It says the mulatto was not made in America.
Right.
They came already. What does that mean? That means that when Negroes say there's white in all of us.
No.
The blacks had white women in Spain and Portugal.
Correct.
Those are mulattoes that were brought over here.
Right.
And were brought over here as slaves. The first mulattoes had black daddies, not white daddies. That came later on. So y'all can't say, oh, it was white and all. No. The first mulattoes to arrive over here was not white fathers and their mothers, or white fathers and black mothers. It was black fathers with white mothers brought over here as slaves. Because their children were taken from them and were made as Christians.
Right. And you have pictures of the royal families that had the white slaves in the same book.
Yep.
You can see that.
Yes.
The last paragraph, Jess.
Negroes were
adopted into royal families.
Like we just read.
Yeah,
you know
earlier.
Given the royal surname and accepted into marriage with the nobility.
Wow.
Moreno Villa named several such among
Moreno Villa names.
Yep.
Several such.
Among them, Don Alfonso, Carlos de Bourbon, adopted son of Charles III and an architect.
So again, to go back to how the Moriscos and the old Christians were descended to each other.
Yep.
There you go.
How Ferdinand's mother was
right. Ferdinand's mother was a Moor, right? Was a Jew, right, of descent, Jew descent. All right. So hope I got something out of the class. Shout out to the IT team, excellent job. Shout out to the breakfast team, excellent job. Shout out to the viewers. We thank you for your support. Hope you got some information. Law as well. Any announcements? Officer?
Yes. Shout out to all IUIC platform shows. We will not mention them by name. People be losing their tops and all. So shout out to all the brothers putting in the work. Shout out to all the brothers on Biblical Smoke, doing it up. A lot of edification. And that's it.
Donations.
I don't have donations. I'm sorry. I thought you had that.
You got it today.
I can't freestyle.
Cat, you up, man?
What's wrong with this guy?
You've been quiet all day. You up.
All right.
Yeah, Kevin's trying to change. Yeah, but he's trying to hold
All right.
on to it.
Like I said, help assist us. If you'd like to donate to us, you can donate to IUIC.fundraising at israelunite.org. Once again, IUIC.fundraiser at israelunite.org. You can also donate to the Booster Club at... I'm sorry, I'm bugging, right? Yeah, no. Yeah.
Wow. Yes, you are. You good. You're doing
If
good.
you want to donate to the radio show, you could donate to IUIC.New Jersey at israelunite.org. You can donate to IUIC.New Jersey at israelunite.org and put in the description box Our Hidden History radio show. All right? Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless. See you next time.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh, yeah.